everybody! Have you heard about the Drunken Peasants Patreon? It helps support the show while getting you some cool perks. Check it out! For $1 per month, you get to use our exclusive fan chat that appears at the bottom of the screen on every episode. For $5 per month, you get 2 new private shows, including Actual Mania, as well as our back catalog of private shows, plus all lower tier perks. For $10 per month, you get all of our monthly video content. This includes multiple post shows, our monthly reviews, our back catalog of all that content, plus all lower tier perks. For $15 per month, your name will appear in the ending credits of each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $25 per month, you get to take part in our monthly booking committee hangout to help us book our Patreon content for that month, plus all lower tier perks. For $33 per month, you get an exclusive piece of DP merch each month, plus all lower tier perks. For $50 per month, you appear in the opening credits for each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $100 per month, you get to join us as a guest on an episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast. Plus, you guessed it, all lower tier perks. Visit patreon.com/DP now to become a patron of the Drunken Peasants podcast.
Bitch, boy!
I'm very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable right now.
Stop!
Substitutes. Queen Corgi here.
Corgis are a lot harder to lose than bearded dragons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fucking good.
Will you hesitate? I won't.
We're back in the paranormal field to investigate this gentleman who says he has haunted dolls.
This one here would be laying over.
I'm all golden. I'm all golden, baby. I'm all golden.
This is my Royal Rumble Regal Tussle Hustle Bustle submission.
Time to train, bitch.
Okay.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast. This is episode 1339, the last of the 1300 series. We're back
The
again.
1330s.
Yes. I don't know if we can top the last episode you and I were both on, but I'll try my best.
That was the 1000. That was actually the 1330th anniversary of episode 307.
It was. In spirit, anyway.
It was literally the 1330 episodes after 307.
Yeah. I was due, you know?
Well, it was 1030. Never mind.
I'm not bad at. I'm not good at math either. It's fine. I want to let everyone know you guys asked, and now you shall receive this month the $33 perk on Patreon.com/DP is a Space Puppy sticker. A Space Puppy sticker. It has
put it on the back of your car.
You could put it anywhere. Or you can keep it nice. And you know, not stick it to anything. It's up to you. And then for the $50 perk, we have a shirt. We have a Space Puppy shirt in different colors
to choose to make that design pop. You know? It's adorable.
You wear it to church on Sunday.
Why not? You can wear it wherever you'd like. You're definitely
Don't wear it to Christ Church.
You're definitely going to heaven if you get the Space Puppy t-shirt. That's all I can say.
Can't
so
get to
sign
heaven
up
without going through space.
Yeah. So sign up, patreon.com/DP. If you sign up at any point before the end of this month, you can get one of these amazing shirts or stickers, depending on the level you choose. Check it out. It would be amazing. And also, don't forget to check out the audio version of the show, because there's extra content on there. There's a pre-show that we just recorded that's up there now for you to check out at any point. So that's
full of good stuff.
Good stuff, yeah. I discussed one of my new ideas for our private shows coming up, the DP Cathalon. So you can hear a little bit about that. And we talked about what's going on in the Cobraverse, which is pretty much nothing. And I'll talk about it really quick, kind of right now. I guess there was a breakup, but there's no stream where they like scream at each other and break up. It's all just nothing, just a changed relationship status. And that's about it.
Cobra's all packed up, moving out, probably waiting for internet access if he can get some.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a great twist if Clint didn't let him get internet, got him in a place without internet?
Yeah, it's in like such a remote area.
Yeah,
they broke up and got back together. It was really quick. So, so please like the stream. Also, double check and make sure you're subscribed. That's very helpful when people decide to do that. So we're going to check out Elizabeth April some more, because I watched a little bit last night, and it was some interesting stuff. This one is called Ending the Reptilian Reincarnation Cycle. She's really focused on reptilians and claims her ex-boyfriend that she dated about a year is a reptilian, and she knows he was. And after she broke up with this guy, she started dating a woman and ended up getting married to her. So I don't know if if she had always been interested in both, or if she just decided like she's done dating men that are definitely reptilians and time to move on to a lady.
Is the woman reptilian?
I have no idea. I don't think it. She seems like she doesn't like reptilians.
Okay.
So if she knew that she wouldn't knowingly date a reptilian woman. So let's check this out.
They're live. Oh, okay. This is going to be a really big video. Well, actually, it shouldn't be too long because I've really condensed it.
It's 30 minutes long.
But it's impactful. And at this time...
This is like her spacesuit or something. What is this?
Is she racing for NASCAR?
It looks like... I thought it looked like cyclist wear, you know?
Okay.
But maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know.
It makes sense. It's more of a cyclist fit. She racing the Tour de France.
Yeah.
I know I've been talking a lot about reptilians, but I feel like we need to be unpacking the trauma that has been created on planet Earth in order to shift our vibration higher and move into a better space, both individually.
She talks about vibrations, and that's something I noticed Art Van Gogh would mention, vibrational energy.
Yeah, didn't she have a lot of stuff to do with like vertice points or something, or like vortexes or
maybe
something?
Maybe
I don't remember her talking about vortexes back in the day.
But this Art Van Gogh doesn't step into sci-fi territory. So she's almost like a mixture of Art Van Gogh and Gail Cord Schuler in a way.
Yeah,
because she believes in
her
Galactic Federation. She calls it Galactic Federation.
Does that make her half as attractive or twice as attractive when you put the two of them together?
I mean, she has very straight, very white teeth. Just something I would notice like at first. She probably got the laser tooth whitening at some point.
Now I want to see her eat a carrot. I need to know if those teeth are real.
They're probably real. They're just whitened, and she probably had braces. Some people are lucky, though, and have naturally straight teeth.
And collectively. So yes, today I'm going to be talking about how we have all been traumatized through the generations, how the prison planet system works, and of course I'm going to be talking about the solutions.
She kind of looks like a reptilian with the ring light reflecting in her eyes. I don't know.
If maybe she doesn't even have a ring light. Maybe this is all reptilian right here.
How do we escape the Matrix? There were so many different titles that I wanted to call this video, and none of them really...
Rhino Cube says this is a girl Destiny would date, that he would gaslight her into thinking she was the bad one.
Encapsulated everything that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to get through a lot.
I mean, there's definitely some crazy ideas coming out of this one here. So, I mean...
And I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you are going to better understand the system of this matrix, how they manipulate the matrix and program us, and how to break out of said system. All right. Cool. Okay. As always, I just want to remind everyone that I'm a remote viewer. I utilize deep states of trance meditation, remote viewing, and telepathy to gain access to the information that I present in my videos. That is how I do.
The thing I love about this is that she doesn't have to prove anything, and she can just say that she is this. She has a huge following. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was in her Discord for a few months, and it got too weird in there, and I left. Were
they all as crazy as she was, or were most of them there simping?
There's a combination of that, and she's really popular on Instagram, and it's just pictures of herself, on Instagram.
What I do, and I always want to
half of our fans are now believers, so I think she might just be attracting everybody.
You can do all of that too. All of you can remote view. You're probably out of your freaking body right now and just don't know it. All of you are psychic. All of you are telepathic. That is your natural state of being. All right?
Okay.
So I just wanted to remind you.
So we're all telepathic. So there's nothing special about the fact that you're telepathic, is what you're saying.
I think her ability is to see her telepathy and utilize it with great precision. We're all doing it willy-nilly, not realizing what's going on. We might call it intuition. We might call it deja vu. We might call it a myriad of other excuses.
Spearmint
but what
Rhino.
it really is, what it really is telepathy.
Your own power. You can do this stuff too. Before we deep dive into the prison planet theory, I wanted to just kind of give
This I want to hear, because this might actually be 100% truth. If she could explain prison planet theory to a way that makes me feel better about my shitty existence, I'm team April, May, June, July, whatever.
A couple of reminders. Today, I actually just finished my Galactic Federation meeting. It happened literally an hour ago.
Was it on Skype?
Or like 40 minutes ago.
Like Gail Cord Schuler when she talks to the Jesuits? Is it on Skype?
Well, does she even have to Skype? She says she astral telepathize. She goes out of her body. She astral projects. She goes into transcendental meditation and transcends through time and space.
Yeah.
Skype seems like a cop out at that point.
And it was incredible. We talked about a lot of things. But two of the questions that I was especially curious about, we talked about like billionaires and CEOs leaving the planet and why they would do that. And a bunch of other things, but really...
in a spiritual battle between Elizabeth and Art Van Gogh.
Depends. Is it like...
I mean, hold on. If there's a Galactic Federation involved, then I think the Galactic Federation could mobilize and easily take out someone that lives in a tiny home. In the
Maybe, but she has the unwavering power of Karenism behind her.
Oh, I mean, maybe there's Karenism that Elizabeth April has, but she's smart enough to not record it and upload it. I don't know.
You just wait till Art Van Gogh talks to the Galactic Federation's manager. Things will change.
I was interested in the
fired.
financial system. We clearly see countries all over the world right now at this time in 2024 pulling out of the American dollar, right? So the USD is about to collapse. And then we see this huge push for crypto, right? For the first time in crypto history, Bitcoin has reached its highest amount ever.
I mean, it keeps reaching its highest every so often. So yeah, it was its highest ever 4 years ago.
Many times.
Yeah, it just is higher every time. Yeah.
It's reached another high, which it does every cycle, which every time it dips, I should be buying Bitcoin because I know it's going to blow through every presidential cycle like it always has. And I never buy it because I never have money.
Looks like there's no stopping it, but of course, who knows? So my question to the Galactic Federation was, what is the future of the financial industry? And their response was nothing short of surprising, shocking, and somehow...
By the way, if you just tuned in, please like the stream. It helps out a lot.
It actually resonated. So please check out the most recent Galactic Federation meeting. If you're watching this in the future, you can watch for season 2024, episode 3. Okay. The other question that I was very curious about that I think is on all of American minds right now is the presidential election. I had to ask because I just feel like, honestly, I feel really disheartened at at the current situations that are going on. So I had to ask for some help, and I got a very interesting response, and I believe it was a Syrian from the Council of Nine.
Hold on, though. Syrians? Like, there are humans known as Syrians. They're from Syria. So...
Did the Syrians...
The Council of Nine?
Inhabit Syria originally? And that's why it's called Syria?
That gave us the response regarding the presidential election. And and so that was also a very fascinating question to ask.
The Council of Nine was a cabal of wealthy American industrialists who manipulated national events behind the scenes. I think it's like it's some weird, let's see. There's a few different things known as the Council of Nine. It's probably more weird conspiracy theorist stuff.
Very interesting information that came through. And same thing, not that I really wanted to agree with it, but it really did resonate and it makes sense kind of for where we're going. So if you want some of those pieces of information, please go check out episode 3, season 2024 of the Galactic Federation meeting.
So hold on, there's seasons of it? Like it's a...
Yeah, there's episodic, it's an episodic meeting.
Wow, I've never heard of episodic meetings before.
Yeah, it's a new season, new meeting.
A new season. A new season.
Of course, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with those who you think really need to hear it at this time, especially those who need some extra guidance when healing. We're going to be deep diving into healing today. And subscribe if you haven't already. I know there's about 30% of you who haven't subscribed.
See, she's still an influencer. Part of me thinks she knows what she's doing. Like she knows these types of ideas are out there, so she tries to present them in a way that's aesthetically pleasing to a lot of people. And it's kind of like how Eric July knows his audience, people like Sturgis. You know what I mean?
Well, he cultivates his audience. He's a grifter, but I don't think he knows them that well. He knows they keep paying. He's got everything set up with Glenn Beck and the cult of... He's a personality in the cult of personality for that circle. She's a cult of personality. Everybody's an influencer these days. They're raised as children. The idea, she might be a full-on believer. You know what? It might even be real. We don't know. We look at her as crazy because we know the world we know. She could be genuinely crazy. She could be manipulating it for views.
I think
people believe in this stuff. I tend
it's
to
not
think
just
that-
views. It's not just views. It's she has classes and stuff, and I think that's where her real money is made. And like private consultations and that kind of stuff. I think she does that. If you go to her website, there's a whole bunch. There's like a whole calendar, and that's what she means by Galactic Federation meetings and that kind of stuff.
The power of conspiracy is that things don't add up in this world. And when you start to take inconsistencies in what other people call reality, you can start selling them a reality of your own making. It's danger.
I'm looking at you. But really, though, subscribe. Okay. And last but not least, I've got an incredible...
So many people are minded to follow cults. The second that your Christianity that you've been brainwashed into following doesn't add up, you have this innate need to follow, and you follow your way right into the craziest stuff.
Here's her calendar of events. This is just for May right here. So
it's gonna be May.
On the 1st, it was a 30-minute psychic reading. It was a giveaway to get a free 30-minute psychic reading.
Ooh.
It's like, do you have to pay to get the giveaway? I don't know. Monthly message to humanity. I actually watched that recently. Manifest your month. That's another thing Art Van Gogh says a lot. Manifesting things. Yeah. So a cosmic giveaway. Monthly oracle card reveal. Yeah, look at all this. Man,
they all go to Coachella. They just dance to different songs.
Yeah, workshops. Look at her like oh yeah, there was the cosmic. Look at this, $88.88 for the
look
cosmic.
Look at the $888.88 one.
Oh my God, Galactic Gathering Workshop. Oh my God,
is that a Magic the Gathering? I'm interested in it.
They make her look. This looks like the cover to like a sci-fi movie, like the poster.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we should do more promo for this show like we're a sci-fi program. That would be dope. Like if we were like new Star Trek.
New Star Trek.
Full event coming up in April. Just around the corner. It is happening live in person. It is my first ever event like this. It's kind of like a Tony Robbins style intimate, intensive deep dive. All right. We are going to be purging out past lifetimes. We are going to be connecting to your cosmic selves and so much else. It is not me leading you. It is me bringing you into a place of leadership.
Okay. So yeah, it's what she's talking about is like, this is her vehicle. Like, I'm sure she makes a lot of money off just the social media aspect of it alone, but that's her vehicle to get you into one of these, you dip your toes in with the $10 seminar, and then before you know it, you're buying the $800 seminar.
Yeah, that's how a lot of this stuff works with all sorts of things. That's what makes me think maybe she does believe in what she's saying, because she could pretty much be selling just about anything and people would follow.
Yeah.
Okay, it's showing you that you are just as powerful, if not more powerful.
Yeah, and seminars over the internet and courses over the internet, there's almost no overhead cost aside from like paying for your internet connection. So she's making like pure profit, like with that sort of stuff. There's like no overhead cost other than her time.
People watching that are asking if she gives all lower tier perks. That's our catch line. Back off.
Yep. Hey, circle R. All right.
So if that sounds like something that you need and meeting your soul family, then please check out the Galactic Gathering happening April 20th.
Okay. So that's the thing that we saw that cost like $800, but I guess it's already passed. She had it on 420 for some reason.
Damn it. I wonder if it's like a Galactic Gathering of the Juggalos with space Juggalos.
21st. Yes, we have online tickets as well. They're
Online
called the remote
tickets.
viewer tickets. So you can absolutely tune in via Zoom. And then that ticket also includes the recording. Or if you really want, show up live and feel the energy.
So that's what she was charging $800. That's probably like the VIP tickets.
Yeah, you probably get to sit down at a dinner with her.
Yeah, something like that. I'm bringing it up
with a
again
room
here
of like 300 people.
because this is fascinating.
What you'll learn.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Learn powerful techniques to release and clear lingering energies, creating space for transformation. Unlock your dormant potential across all dimensions through guided practices and insights. Gain tools and understanding to align with your highest path, setting the stage for your optimal life journey. Establish meaningful connections with like-minded star seeds, building a supportive and lasting community. If I was a hot chick, I would do this too. I would run a cult. Easy.
Let's see. Okay, so right now all you can buy is the recording, obviously, because the actual event is done. But
yeah,
I'm guessing like there was like a VIP package or whatever. I wonder if these are AI pictures. They look like it. They look like AI pictures. That way you don't need actual. Oh, someone from Seattle went, or at least watched the video. Yeah,
Alex from Seattle.
Yep. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Of that space.
I wonder how much she made. Because even if she gets one person to sign up for $800, that's like enough to even do it.
Dude, I'm sure that like she had at least a dozen people. At least a dozen people. There's women who want to be like her, and men who want to be with her. People who want to follow. I guarantee you she has a ton of rich people who are so tired of doing the money game that now they're trying to enlighten themselves and transcend into a new world. It's a very popular thing to do. Yeah. All of my CEO colleagues I talk to are into this stuff. They're getting into mushrooms now. They're at the precipice of the future of transcending reality.
I'm so honored to be sharing space with so many incredible people. So spots are limited. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, please check it out on the website. Okay, so let's get into the prison planet theory. So this, like quite a few years ago, I was hearing all of these people talk about, planet Earth is a prison planet, and
wow, she's already how far into this video? She's like 7 minutes into this video, and she just now explained the prison planet thing.
We're being held hostage.
Yeah, gotta get those intro ads in.
Yep.
The prison planet. I'm actually a believer in whatever she's about to say, whatever it is.
Okay.
Hostage here, and they're feeding off of our energy. And right away, I'm like, yes, absolutely, that is happening without a doubt. This is a prison planet. But it's almost like in a lot of cases, like with conspiracies and with, channels or channelers, it's even religions. It's like part of it resonates and part of it doesn't. And that's how I felt about the prison planet theory. Now, essentially, the kind of rhetoric or the theory that goes on out there is that planet Earth is a prison planet.
Essentially is this generation's literally.
Essentially, bud.
And that there is a place that our souls go after we incarnate. So when we die, we go to a place, and it is a soul recycling center.
Welcome to the Soul Recycling Center. And they like sort it, the different souls.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only thing that explains the pyramids.
Oh, what?
Okay, this is basically the theory that's out there. And so some people say that there's a soul recycling center on the moon. Some people say that there's a soul recycling center on different planets within our solar system. And some people make statements.
I mean, most of the other planets are I mean, like, there's a lot of planets that are just gas, like big balls of gas.
That the
Like, what other planet is the soul recycling center on?
afterlife, okay, the white light is actually a soul regeneration system, right?
There's a theory that the aliens created us to harvest our souls. That's why we're here.
Like
is we're
Scientology?
populated- If that's Scientology, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
never looked that deep into Scientology, but it's a legitimate theory that people believe that we were created by aliens. It's just to harvest our souls, because our souls are energy they feed on, and we're like halfway between them and livestock, so that our souls are appetizing or compatible
Is there
with
a
their
soul
fuel
landfill too?
system.
Yes,
they just be shitting out souls, dude.
There's a soul landfill, yes.
It's called Detroit.
A soul replacement, soul whatever, reincarnation system. And so within this system, maybe they refer to them as like the reptilians or the bad guys or the entities, but they feed off of our reincarnation, right? And so, like I said, I'm like,
Yeah, this is really similar to Scientology type stuff.
yes, and then no. There's something about that does not resonate, but there is something about that really does resonate. So quite a few
the question
years ago,
is, do these people lift this from Scientology, or did Scientology lift this from these people?
Scientology
is relatively new, right?
I mean, compared to religions, like
about 70 years.
Yeah.
before I was ever online, ever on YouTube, I had to check into this for myself. What is happening? What is this trap? Because there's definitely something going on. And so when I tuned into this myself, and here's what came through. Now, as always, take it or leave it, right? If it resonates with you, it's for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you. And that's totally okay too. All right? So what I've channeled is that this is a bit of a prison system, and they, specifically being the reptilians, but I do want to make a mention that not all reptilians are bad.
Yeah, because when someone just says they, it's up for interpretation who they mean by they.
It's like not all human beings are bad, okay? We have to understand
like
that there's
some
good
pet
and
owners
bad.
are really good to their pets, and some pet owners are abusive to their pets. That's why reptilians can be good and bad. This makes 100% sense.
Every civilization in the entire
She basically
universe.
described Buddhism. They even have assorted temporary paradises / hells for souls before reincarnation. She's just changed some words.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, maybe Buddhism is the right religion.
Buddhism is way older than, Buddhism's way older than Christianity and probably Judaism too. I think so.
Buddhism is probably the truth, and then Christianity and Judaism is ways to categorize the other populations that are here just to feed the souls to the upper aliens. That's probably what she's saying.
The nature of our binary system, okay? So, but specifically, the reptilians on planet Earth, not so great. And some of them are great. So once again, we're going to talk about the not so great ones today. So they have created and devised a system where they can
talk about the good
feed
reptilians
off of our energy, and specifically they feed off of our fear frequency or fear energy. So part of the reptilian genetic manipulation.
Reptilians feed off of fear energy.
So we've got Anunnaki
Yeah,
within
this
us.
is why
we've
the
got
best thing to do if you're being attacked, whether it's abuse or for gain, any sort of gain, is to pretend like you like it. Then the reptilian attacking you will be like, ugh, gross. I don't want this one.
If I was a reptilian and I fed off of fear energy, I would just hang out at horror movie theaters playing horror movies all the time, or maybe amusement parks near the scarier rides.
That might be why there's so many horror movies that get released. You can get huge numbers for a low budget horror film.
Reptilians are just filling the seats. Or maybe if you were a reptilian and you fed off of fear energy, you could run a skydiving company, take people skydiving, and you could just feast on that fear energy.
Maybe that's why you have to have a skydiving person attached to you for the first 4 skydives. Now, maybe those people are reptilians who want to be right on your back as you're falling in fear.
Yep.
We've got gray, we've got Pleiadian. We are a hybrid species. We've got a mishmash of many different beings throughout the generations. This is what I've remote viewed, is that they have come down, they have messed with our genetics, and they have evolved us. And sometimes it kind of holds us back. And so we've got this fight, flight, or freeze mechanism in our brain, literally being dubbed the reptilian brain, or the reptilian part of our brain. And when we get into that fight or flight mechanism in our brain,
what the hell does she have on her finger?
Looks like a weird ring.
It's a free.
I don't know. Maybe she hurt her finger, and it's like a brace, almost like a knee brace, but it's for her finger.
I think that's the Turbo Bop 3000 for self-pleasure.
Frequency, right? We've got theta, alpha. We've got all these different states that we can get into in our mind.
Thetans.
And when we get into that...
Yeah, that's a Scientology thing. Thetans.
That reptilian state, we emit a frequency of survival, of fear. And this is when they feed off of that fear or survival, that fight or flight frequency. Okay? So yes, they do feed off of us. And yes, there is a reincarnation trap, but it's not some sort of...
I wonder if I'm a reptilian, because I've only experienced fear 3 times in my life.
I think you'd know.
Soul recycling center. It's not going into the white light, okay? I have been in and out and through and past and beyond the white light, and the white light truly is a place of unconditional love. You could call it heaven, but it does exist, and it is truly good. It is one of the most peaceful, loving, softest vibrational places that I've been to anyway in the universe. Okay, so
if reptilians feed on fear, would reciting the litany against fear from Dune repel them like read the Bible to a demon? I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
Get on your knees and start to pray and read your Bible and do what it say.
Don't fear the white light after death, because I know that is part of that prison planet theory. So here's how they keep us trapped within this cycle. Now, some people believe that karma only exists on planet Earth, which is not the case. Karma exists everywhere in the entire universe. Karma is universal law. Karma is simply cause and effect. You take one action over here, and you're going to get some sort of effect from that action, and it emits an energy, and then you've got to confuse
now that makes karma seem pretty weak.
By matching it on the other end of things, okay? And that's how you neutralize karma. The reptilians know all about universal law. They know all about karma. They know all about cause and effect.
What are those aliens in the Marvel universe called? The Krull? Is that what they're called?
The Skrulls?
The Skrulls. Yeah. So those are the reptilians, basically. You know?
Ooh.
And how they live among us, and we don't even know. That's
how they've been displaced from their homeland. They're looking for their homeland.
Yeah, to feed on the fear.
They're trying to establish their homeland, but everybody wants to take them out of their God-given rightful homeland.
Yep.
This is how they manipulate and they program planet Earth and humanity. So instead of, because they're not allowed to override our free will, instead of saying,
there's someone in
you're
the
gonna start
pleb
a
chat
war.
named G who keeps saying that we're 2 Jews lying. Dude, we're actually just 2 guys that don't know anything. We can't be lying. We're watching people crazier than us. That's it.
And all of the seeds in mainstream, in television programming, and what it's called is predictive programming. They plant these seeds subconsciously so that collectively we observe these things and then we create it, okay? They can't force us to do anything, but what they can do is they can manipulate us to a certain extent so that we're doing the things that they want us to do. This is how they've gotten around the law of non-intervention for such a long time, because they understand these laws. And so what's happened is, because they understand the law
of non-intervention?
I'm not familiar with that. I'm sure if you Google it,
this.
Tell me like the basic definition of that.
The law of non-intervention, I believe, is what she said.
Yeah. Is there a law that if I become like a bottom of the barrel alcoholic, that no one can stage an intervention?
What? I got bad news for you, Ben. We got plans next Thursday. The principle of non-intervention involves the right of every sovereign state to conduct its affairs without outside interference.
Okay. How does that apply to this mumbo jumbo that she's talking about now?
I guess maybe it's like when you are a documentarian, you're not supposed to get in the way of the things you're documenting. You're supposed to allow it to happen. Maybe these aliens or reptiles know that our suffering is ours, and they can't become a part of it because they can't do anything but feed off of it anyways.
So it's like the prime directive. That's a thing in Star Trek where like they don't reveal themselves to species of beings that haven't advanced technologically enough. So yeah.
Huh?
It's basically the prime directive.
Yep.
This is where the prison planet comes in. They create, the reptilians create a certain frequency of trauma that cannot be replicated in other places in the universe. Therefore, human beings and our souls, it's really not our human, it's our soul, that is forced to reincarnate back on planet Earth to complete the soul trauma that we originally experienced.
It's almost like original sin. We originally experienced soul trauma.
Man, it's so hard just to exist these days.
So much trauma. Is she soul trauma dumping on us right now?
Yeah. She's a jive soul trauma bro.
That's the prison planet. That's what's holding us back, which in some ways feels very daunting and in other ways feels very liberating. Oh, they're doing it to us. Great. So I can undo that. And we're going to talk about undoing this soul trauma.
Please, thank you.
Now, specifically, if we talk about the specific trauma that they create within us that we have to come back around to complete. I call it soul fracture, like fracturing an elbow or a leg or a foot or something, What happens is the trauma that they put us through in a variety of ways, could be war, famine, could be plagues, could be trafficking, which we all know is a huge trauma that a lot of us have been through, all right? But those soul traumas fracture a piece of ourselves, and then we get stuck in that place, in that trauma.
I like how she's trying to make this grandiose experience where trauma is this romantic galactic level thing that feeds a interstellar being when really it's a very personal. There's greedy people out there that don't care who they hurt to get what they want. They do it all the time. The cause and effect of that is they get what they want.
Creation story from D&D lore.
What?
I wonder what else inspired her amazing world building.
Damn, dude.
They should make a movie, kind of like her version of Battlefield Earth. You know? We need
Battlefield sorority.
So say, for example, you had a past lifetime where you endured a really horrific time, and it was like the bubonic plague or whatever, the Black Plague.
Bubonic
and
plague.
I think there was different things, but whatever.
She might have said coronavirus, but she probably doesn't believe in it. So
that
she had to
soul
think further
trauma,
back.
you've got this past life energy that's trapped there. And because it's trapped specifically on planet Earth, you've got to now reincarnate to complete that trauma. And a big part of the trauma completion from previous plagues, guess what, was 2020. All right, and what happened?
What?
So here we have it. Okay, so that's how the reincarnation trap works. This is how the reptilians have been doing it for a very long time. Okay, trapped on Earth. They do feed off of our fear. Okay, I'm just reading my notes.
They do feed off of our fear.
Trapped on Earth.
Okay, so let's talk about healing the soul fractals. Now, I want to mention before we go into the healing aspect of it, starseeds in particular have been targeted for many, many, many years, for many generations. Okay? And how do they know that you're a starseed? Typically, you are connected to the elements. Typically, you are outspoken. Typically, you are a healer. Typically, you are a change maker.
Connected to the elements.
Typically, you will not agree with...
I'm connected to zinc. I'm connected to sodium. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Sodium's a good element.
Earth,
the way that the
wind, water, heart.
System has been. You're an outspoken individual that does not agree with the norms. You're screaming starseed, okay? And once again, to get away from even just
You're
this word
screaming starseed.
Starseed.
So basically, you're saying you're just looking for people that aren't normal. Well, that's how you're going to find followers. Good job.
Jared uses that term a lot, starseeds. I thought Jared was following her for a while.
I'm a starseed.
Right?
I got 2 102 donos last night. Yep.
A galactic volunteer. The reptilians are the most afraid of these galactic volunteers. They know that they/we are the threat. We have been the threat in previous lifetimes, and we are currently the most extreme threat to their existence right now. Is our ability to question the narrative, to wake the fuck up, and to wake everyone else up around us. So, we have been the most traumatized.
When are you starseeds joining April's classes and doing a live stream of it?
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
Next 421, I guess.
Or we're gonna go to her little seminar or whatever.
Yeah, we're both paying $888 and 88
What a
cents.
waste of money. Oh
If
my God.
Our fans, we have to get you to pay $999.99 for me and Ben to get there. That way we make $111 off of it.
Period. We have been the most targeted. We have been the most attacked. We have been the most traumatized. Therefore, coming into this lifetime, we have a heavy burden to bear. We have a lot that we're hanging on to, and it's time to let that go. Okay? Now, there is a section of the humans who are on planet Earth, new Earth humans, who have never been here before, and they do not carry the same burdens, and they do not carry the same traumas. I want to say that of this community, I don't know, it's even hard to kind of put a percentage on it. Like, I feel like the majority of you have been here for a while and are quite traumatized. I feel like a much smaller percent, maybe 5% or 10% of my community are brand new. Okay? So
nice. The intergalactic trauma bond grift versus the percentage of people who are just there to jerk it to her.
Because I feel like the new souls are still coming in, you know? All right. So let's talk about soul fractals and healing them. So, like I mentioned, most likely as a starseed, you have soul fractals. Now, I do want to mention something. So, like, a soul fracture is like a piece of your soul kind of gets left in that space and time, and then you go about life and you're piecing, you're breaking off, you're traumatized, you're piecing, you're breaking off. But then there's also another aspect of soul fractals that I've worked with plenty of times before, and I just have to mention it so that we don't get too confused, but we only have a limited number of words to utilize as well, so there are limitations. There is also the concept that as a soul, we cannot be
Chronicles
contained.
Galactic Soul Trauma, a new sci-fi novel. Coming to a physical and digital book retailers near you, July 2024.
Amazing.
Say her teeth give me snow blindness, L.
Yeah, her teeth are very white.
By one
Yeah, smoke some
container,
crack.
so that there are many different aspects of your soul that are currently incarnated out in the universe. It's like your soul family, right? It's just actually just the same soul, just fractured into many different pieces. And that's a little bit different. Those aren't traumatized pieces of you wandering around the universe. Those are actually full embodied versions of you, just in a different place, in a different space, in a different time, living out that lifetime, most likely as an extraterrestrial. So just kind of keeping that in mind, that there are soul.
So like we've been extraterrestrials in the past, and we were reincarnated, and this time we ended up as humans on planet Earth. Is that what she?
Yeah. Are we existing on multiple planes? Like, do we exist as an alien and as a human at the same time? Is alien existence something that transcends the human timeline? Does space and time only matter in this world? And in other variations, we're allowed to fractalize or kaleidoscope into a myriad of different beings and or super beings? What is she saying?
We need more clarification.
Fractures that are trauma-based.
Clean it up, woman. You're getting messy here.
And then there are soul fragments that are just aspects of you. And that's the reason why I don't believe in twin flames, is because we don't just have one other
Is she talking about the twin flames cult?
Ourselves. We are
I don't know what that is.
Is she part of it?
I don't know what that is.
The twin flames cult is a big cult that's, I think, been popularized recently through maybe a documentary or something. It's been coming up a lot on different media.
Beings, and there are many aspects of ourselves wandering around in parallel succession. Okay? Just planting.
She's so happy. Oh, there was a
Yeah.
Streamlabs.
When you were still learning to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies, fool.
Some light seeds here. Okay. So, the trauma from past lives will follow you. It'll create irrational fears. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if your soul fractures are really bad, then it creates, or it's diagnosed as DID, or dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, that used to be called
like
multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
Which, I don't think so.
Previously known as multiple personality disorder. So this is an incredibly prominent case of trauma after trauma after trauma, and all of a sudden you don't know who you are anymore, and there's other aspects of self that come in. That's a very extreme version of...
I noticed there is over 200 live viewers and not over 200 likes. Why haven't some of you liked this dream?
Please like
also,
the stream.
Art Van Gogh is way more bangable than her.
Yeah, like the stream so that Art Van Gogh can be our new co-host.
Trauma that can be created on planet Earth, which once again creates this reincarnation cycle. Okay? This trap, this prison. If it's not
this
as
reincarnation cycle. So when you reach nirvana, aka you work through your traumas in this life, then you're allowed to move on into a transcendent heaven. But if you don't work through your traumas in this life, you're re-imprisoned to suffer, because they'll feed off of that inherent pure trauma, that good trauma, not that new body trauma.
So it's like cholesterol, how there's like good and bad.
I think so,
Trauma.
yeah.
Just throwing it out there. What if she is the reincarnation of L. Ron Hubbard?
Oh, dude, I'm picking up on that Elron vibrational energy right now. Maybe she'll start her own navy soon.
Or an L. Ronley fans.
Traumas are not as bad, and you're not, say, diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, then what you're going to be living through is the traumas come out as different identities that we can utilize. And most of us are not even aware of all of the different identities. Like maybe inside you, you have a rebel that just wants to shout from the rooftops. Maybe inside you, you have this like small little girl who just needs to be held. Maybe inside of you, you have someone who's really freaking angry. And every once in a
This
while...
is so stupid. This is exactly how counterculture cults pull you in.
Yep.
They're like, there's this piece of you that it doesn't fit in with regular society, and we have your answer. You don't have the answer. You know what I'm diagnosed with. You know I have a problem, and you're just keeping me close to you because I'm looking to be nurtured and bonded through my trauma. That's what humans do when they're broken. They're broken for a reason. It's because somebody that was in charge of making them feel secure failed miserably. And now they're looking for other people to do it. And these people who say they have the answer, these people that say that the world isn't the way it is and this world is the right answer, they want your $888.88, and they're going to get it because you are looking for an answer, and you'll do anything to get it. The same way you would suck up to your father who never showed you enough love, begging for his approval, and you never got it. Now you'll get it from her because your father's dead or moved on to a new family, whatever it is.
If those identities and those aspects...
I am going to lose it.
I don't think she's going to.
I don't think that she's that deep into that side of this. I think that side of this probably borrowed a lot from whatever she's borrowing from or believing in. I think what she's talking about might be deeper than this.
Of self go unchecked and you're unaware of them, they will come out without permission, without control. And this is where we see people losing their cool or getting super angry or reverting back to that traumatic inner child stage, right? Which is,
this is where you see people who are having emotional responses to trauma do things that they do in traumatic responses. Like this is when you see this. This is just regular unhealthy humans being unhealthy.
But I think that we all have these trauma aspects that have been hidden deep within ourselves. And what this video is all about...
same cult, except I'm going to say this trauma demon that makes you go and eat cheeseburgers. It's going to be this, but with obesity. I'm going to get all the fats on my side. And I'm going to feed them factor meals every month. They're going to be buying my cult factor meals.
What's in your cult factor meal?
It's all sludge.
It's
brown sludge, green sludge. I got yellow sludge. Next month, we're going to have festive red sludge.
Is saying, clear that, heal that. There are aspects of you that seriously need to be loved and seen and held, and you need to bring them back into the whole. Okay, so... So in psychology, there is a term, and I want you guys to write this term down. It's called IFS, Integrated Family Systems. Now, I'm obviously not a psychologist.
Sorry,
I'm
I didn't write
not
it down.
trained or practiced or educated.
Did she say IFS? Is that irritable fart syndrome? I didn't write it down.
What was that? All I know about IFS is the work that I've done with my therapist. Okay, integrated family systems. And when she's like, I specialize in integrated family systems. And I told her, I'm like,
I wonder what kind of therapist this is. If it's like a real therapist or if it's like some kind of new agey shit that's not actual therapy. I don't know.
I mean, I'm probably closer to the last one.
Yeah.
I don't have any family problems. Like, maybe you're not the right therapist for me. And she kind of giggled and she's like, oh, IFS is not about family. And I'm like, okay. Then she explains to me that through trauma, we all have different aspects of ourselves that are all buried within ourselves. And like they even have names for them. Like we have like the exile, we have the protector, we have the
thanks for the 2 pounds
firefighter who's constantly putting out fires.
I really want to lose 2 pounds.
Really, like she was explaining this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like. And I told her, I said, well, when I was 18, I was doing a bunch of inner child work just because I was drawn to do that work. And I said, is it like this? I talked to my inner child. She was super upset. And I said, what do you need from me? And she said that I just needed to be there. And then eventually she trusted me. And then we integrated. It's like the one time I hugged my inner child and like she got absorbed by me. And I was like, that was kind of weird. And she's like, that's
this needs to be filmed. This needs to be made into a movie.
Exactly.
Some kind of crazy movie.
The point of IFS is to take.
Does anybody ever beat their inner child? Is there like an inner
Hopefully
child
not.
abuse?
She's getting Fast and the Furious therapy. Family.
Family.
We're at 57.56% of the way to our goal. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Get us to $888.88 so you can come to our VIP retreat.
Us and to bring them back in so that we can show up in every single moment as a whole individual.
Situation.
Who knew there was a whole freaking theory of thought within psychology that is based on soul fragments, soul fractals, soul fractures, right? Healing those soul fractures.
She's taking fractured ego, fractured existence theory, and just turning it into fractal because it sounds like a fractal. Because I'm trying to figure out what the fractal's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's not a fracture. I don't think a fracture is the same thing as a fractal. So
it's 100% not. That's why I'm trying to get where this fractal theory comes from. It's really just her putting a word spin on fractured existence.
If you feel like you've got hurt parts of you that are unhealed, please explore integrated family systems. And not everyone specializes in that. But wow, it is probably the #1 most impactful, profound, and closest to my understanding of
people who say #1 most profound, impactful thing. No, sorry, you found a very simple answer to your very simple problems, and it gave you some sweet relief. And you call it #1 profound because you yourself are not so profound. You're pretty damn basic. You and your friends probably all love Crocs. You probably all love Starbucks. You probably all love going to the beach, sitting in the sand. We all love this stuff. You're human. You're only human. You want to be beyond human because so do all humans. All humans want to be beyond human. All humans want to believe they're at the end of the earth. That Jesus is going to come down, whatever it is, the end of days are upon them. They're going to witness the most grandiose time of existence. Everybody believes that. The truth is, we just keep folding forward.
Here's
we're
her
a populative beast.
Here's her Instagram.
Repopulate. She wanted 9K.
Yeah. Not huge, but enough to gain followers this way. And it's
crazy huge. That's good for someone who's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that Thor? Is that lion Thor there with the angel?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey.
And the reptilian and the gray you see down here.
Yeah. Is there a race of lion-oid aliens?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that thing
Whatever
is.
that is, that's what I am. I'm whatever that is.
Yeah.
I call dibs on that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
how the soul gets traumatized and how we react and respond to that trauma, but in an actual psychological practice. And I don't know if it's even psychology. It might just be therapy. It might just be a therapist, right? Type thing.
Christopher A. Strasser says, do you actually think she believes in this BS
I don't
she's
know.
peddling, Billy?
Yeah, we were asking that earlier, by the way.
The majority of this is just low-level psychology stuff. When you add in the other little bits and pieces, I mean, she could believe in that. She could not believe in that. It's only just flavoring at this point. It's flavoring for a base cult ideal. And you kind of need a little bit of seasoning on your cult so it doesn't get too samesies.
She's a therapist. So it's profound. It's the amount of breakthroughs that I've made in the past 3 years by just tuning into these parts of me have been, I mean, beyond healing. Okay, so just fangirling over IFS.
As
Okay.
a grift, this was pretty sweet because if you categorize reptilians as narcissists, you can get to the narcissist point of view, maybe even the sociopath point of view. You can get to them and convince them they're one of the good ones. And because you're feeding their ego, they're the ones that are paying you the $888.88 beyond even the simps.
Is Lex Luger a reptilian?
Yeah, obviously.
Because
nobody's got muscles like that.
He was the narcissist, Lex Luger, at his first
he's like
WWE
alligator.
run.
I used to absolutely hate him because of one promo I saw him cut when WWE was coming to Seattle when I was a kid. He was talking trash about Seattle, and it was during his narcissist run. And I was like, "Ooh, I hate you, Lex."
Yeah, he was a
Luger. I
heel.
hate
Bobby
you."
Heenan was his manager, so they wanted him to get massive heat.
I was like 10 years old. I was like, how could he talk bad about Seattle? That's where I'm from.
Yep.
I don't like him.
Here's the solution here. We need to explore the traumas in order to heal them and bring them back. Whether you're like, I don't have time or money for a therapist, I'm not getting into it, that's okay, right? Some other words that we can use for this, other than integrated family systems, we could use shadow work. We could use inner child healing, right? These are
Shadow
all just
work.
aspects of
Is
this.
that like the shadow boxing of therapy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I call it shallow work.
What we're doing is we are reviewing the trauma. We're asking ourselves if there is a piece of us that is still connected to that trauma. And then we're asking that part of ourselves, what do you need from me? How can I help you? Because no, I don't think that we need a guru or a leader or an energy worker or a therapist or a psychologist
An
or a
energy
doctor.
worker. Like someone that works at a nuclear power plant? Is that what she meant?
Help us.
Is she
in
talking
this
about Homer Simpson?
process?
Yes.
If you need someone to hold space for you, then absolutely go get it. But I know that we can lead ourselves and hold space for ourselves too. Okay? So please go searching for this deep inner work. One other thing that you can do is calling all parts of your human and your earthly soul back, right? And
Calling all soul parts.
This shadow work and this inner child healing is also past life stuff, right? Every time we review a past life that is traumatic, which is a lot of them, that past lifetime holds a piece of our soul. That soul fractal. And if it's coming up in our lives, whether through an oracle card deck or maybe some sort of past life reading that you get or a dream that you have, right? It's an aspect of, hey, this thing needs to be healed. It's coming up in order to be healed. So one of the things that I've done in the past, really decade or so, is calling all of my soul fractals back. So I really just sit in meditation, close my eyes, open my heart space.
She means fractures, by the way.
And
We've determined that.
Something to the effect.
Well, I'm really wondering. I was really interested in what she meant by soul fractals. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, she's just bastardized the word fracture to sound more new age.
Yeah, I went to one of those like planetarium theaters where you like lay back and the screen is like the whole
fractal.
ceiling.
The human spirit is a snowflake.
Yeah. And they did like these fractals and it was crazy and trippy, like up on the ceiling. It was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. I haven't been to a laser show since I was a kid. I imagine they've just gotten so much cooler.
Yeah. Yes.
I call any and all soul fractals back into my
It's
earthly
that
body
easy?
for the highest good of all involved.
That's all you have to say? Wow. Okay. Couldn't you
Still
have
not
just
doing it.
Couldn't you have just told us at the beginning instead of taking forever to explain?
Yeah, easy as it is, my defiance. Me and King Cobra will not be doing this.
And I remember the first time I did this, I was, I think 18 or 19 years old. I was sitting on a bus. I was going to my job. and still going to university. Maybe I was going to a class, but anyway, I was on this bus, like a city bus, and I was sitting there and I closed my eyes. It was so early, like 6 a.m. And I said that just intuitively. I'd never done that before. And I just saw all of these, they look like glowing white balls of energy all coming back into my body. And immediately I felt more grounded, more present.
She was on a bus, a city bus, and this happened.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was a kid too, when they make us sit at our desk and put our head down for 30 minutes or whatever. I would sit there and get all my soul fractals back. Yeah, I would just get all my white balls back.
More aware. I could smell.
You could smell the
smells
balls
on the bus. It sounds gross.
Call back all your soul fractals. Do you get a spiritual glacier?
This is fascinating.
It wasn't. It was shocking and beautiful. I'm like, what? Like I was more present. I was more in my senses. I was more aware, more grounded than I had been because I'm bringing those parts of me back. So sometimes without
I've been collecting soul fractals like Thanos did Infinity Stones. Like I'm ready to snap any minute now.
Are you taking other people's soul fractals?
Hell yeah. I got all mine when I was a little kid with my head down in class. Now I'm taking everybody else's.
No.
I'm a Jive Soul Fractal bro.
Having to go through the heavy labor of doing the work, you can just call it all back in and then allow it to integrate. Okay? It is time for all of us to take our power back to...
You know, I watched a video the other day, or last night actually, and she recorded it from the bathtub. So she does kind of like, Queen Cobra type stuff too.
Yeah, except her type of crazy is marketable.
Escape this reincarnation prison planet trap.
Like if she got Cobra kicked out of his house, I'd be like, good job, King Cobra.
Even if she screamed at him all night? Like if all the behavior was the same, just the appearance of the woman is the only difference.
As long as the screaming was about like the soul fractals charting his life.
Okay.
As long as it was like on brand and she did everything on brand, if she was like giving him an exorcism of soul reverberation or something, then I'd be for it.
Okay.
Step into who we've always been, which is the most whole version of you. I was going to say wholest, by the way. I had to like rearrange that in my mind. The most
whole version of me.
Unified version of yourself. All right? It's time. And you are ready. As always, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to check out that incredible Galactic Federation event that we had today, talking about the presidential election and the future of finance and so much more. Check out the Galactic Gathering if you are ready for an intensive, intimate, in-person event with me and fellow team members.
Only $900.
And if you do feel like you want to move ahead and you want to do some deep healing and you don't know where to begin, I've got an incredible course. It's called the Shift Masterclass, and it is truly meant to take you from the 3D into the 5D.
Yeah, see, this is I think she has probably like 100 or maybe around 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. So she makes ad revenue and stuff easily, but also this is just a vehicle to get you into these seminars. You know, it's kind of brilliant.
By exploring the different
so many
parts.
people are looking for the next elevation of existence. Someone's got to sell it to them. Not everybody can find true peace watching Drunken Peasants every day.
Healing them, releasing them, and getting into the highest frequency. All right? Thank you all so much. As always, such a pleasure to be here with you. I will see you in the 5th dimension frequency.
I will see you in the 5th dimension frequency.
Yeah, the 5th dimension frequency.
It's the Quetzalcoatl frequency. Possum Buddy says her abusive therapy speak is most bothersome. Sorry, man. I think it's exactly what therapy speak was invented for. They're just playing human chess.
All right. Please like the stream if you haven't already, and make sure you're still subscribed, because accounts get unsubscribed all the time.
Yeah, if you click the subscribe button right now and you are subscribed, that will unsubscribe you. So make sure you don't just do that.
Yeah. We've got, oh God, this guy. This guy right here. Jeff kind of introduced me to this guy. He's like an exorcism guy. And he's going to talk about curses, how curses target your life. Here it is.
How do curses target your life?
Tell me, Bob.
It's interesting. Yeah, Bob Larson. You can tell his exorcisms are very fake because they have really bad acting in them.
The spiritual process.
And people are like all acting like they're possessed by demons and stuff.
Evil isn't as simple nor as direct as you may think. It has taken me decades of ministry and spiritual warfare to understand what I'm going to share with you in a few words.
But first, I want to tell you about ExpressVPN.
Before I begin, we must dispel the theological myth that curses can't affect Christians. I methodically demolish this faulty supposition in my book entitled Curse Breaking, and also in the courses of Bob Larson University. The premise for what I'm about to say is this: generational curses may affect Christians to varying degrees, especially.
So, like, you can get curses from your ancestors.
Like the Von Erich family?
Yes. Yeah.
Lukewarm Christians who don't take proactive measures to break curses. Curses operate in these three basic ways. First, a direct attack from bloodline.
So he's really just talking about IFS here as well. This is the generational trauma that the other girl was trying to grift off of. He's grifting off it here with exorcism and stuff. Oh my God, guys, this is the story. This is the story all across the world. People, it's nature versus nurture. You were nurtured into a life of suffering because your dumbass parents were suffering too and passed it on. GG, good game. This is all problems. Happy people are happy because their parents were happy. It's that simple. Get happy. Let's go.
Caused by recent ancestors. 2, spiritual landmines, traps set for unsuspecting generations to step on. 3, curses that skip a generation so they aren't obvious.
Oh, it's kind of like allergies. Like sometimes allergies will skip a generation and be passed on later on.
Yeah.
Huh. Curses are like
my
allergies.
My mom's dad had a big peen, but she didn't have a big peen. And then I had a big peen, so it like skipped a generation.
To directly link them to the origin. Let's break down these 3 ways curses operate one by one. First, bloodline evil. Curses passed down by ancestors can originate in the distant past or more recently. The obvious curses are those in the family bloodline remembered by living descendants. These are the easiest curses to break because they can be historically verified. Become aware of the serious sins of parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents by speaking with
historically verified curses.
Living ancestors.
He's literally
just History Channel documentary. You have to take it, Messieurs.
Messieurs?
Including
this is really exactly what she was trying to sell in the last video.
Yep. It's true.
Extended.
Oh my God.
Family members. Find out if there is extreme evil within.
I wonder if he has a seminar that he's going to do.
Family memory.
He does. He said at the beginning he was trying to sell his book and his Mia.
I missed that.
He's already tried to sell it. It's so fucking funny. This is exactly every grift. So easy. Ben, we need to start talking to our audience about their traumas. The problem with Drunken Peasants is we just get you guys to drink them away.
Get to watch you guys. Tonight is so good. Have my money.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
This
it.
is the second omen. The first omen, that's the one with Sydney Sweetie, right? Or am I tripping?
You're asking the
I think I'm
wrong
tripping.
person. Yeah, I have no idea.
Native. Who did what in the event that their actions possibly opened the door to demonic incursion? Renounce such evil deeds immediately. Second, spiritual landmines.
Does it have something to do with the fractals, the soul fractals?
It's got to be the soul fractals. I'm calling soul fractals.
All right.
I just watched that other video. I'm a genius. I know all about them. This got to be soul fractals.
Spiritual landmine is a ticking time bomb of evil consequences. It lies in wait for unsuspecting individuals in the bloodline
What is
to
this?
step on it and activate its...
It's a landmine?
It's a fucking baker bucket buried in the ground.
It's not
and someone
something
filled it with
anyone
shit.
in your family may be aware of. It could be a family secret that no one wants to talk about or no one knows about. Ask the Lord to bring into the open extreme evil that
He's
family
literally talking about traumas. And instead of them being these alien traumas that feed aliens, it's traumas that need to be executed out of you. And both these people were selling you the answer. If his costs $888.88, I'm going to be mad.
I mean, maybe he has several products just like Elizabeth April has.
Oh, yeah. You got to be able to appeal to every economic fool. Because there's billionaire fools and there's poor fools.
That could be waiting like a landmine to strike an unsuspecting person in the bloodline.
So Roman Reigns, right?
It better not be going after Roman Reigns. Maybe like Solo.
Curses you can't break specifically because you don't always know for certain what they are. So leave them in the Lord's hands to be dealt with and to be removed from your path. Remind the devil that he won't be allowed to attack you because there is something in your spiritual DNA you know nothing about. And third, skipping curses. I sometimes have people say to me, I don't have any bloodline curses in my life because all the ancestors I know have been godly. That's wonderful. What about the evil?
So he's like, you pretty much all of us have... He's basically setting it up to where everyone would need treatment for this. Like everyone.
Yeah.
Of ancestors.
Because you got at least one ancestor that like carried a curse over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody's got problems. Doesn't matter how perfect your life is. You find problems. Perfection is never really perfection. Because if you're perfect, you get bored of perfect.
Hidden from your knowledge. I've discovered from experience in spiritual warfare that curses sometimes skip one or more generations. They can't land on the intervening generations because these ancestors walked with the Lord. Suppose that your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents have all been devout Christians. But what about the ancestors going back further?
Oh, what about your ancestors?
see?
Hold on. What about your ancestors before Christianity even existed? Huh?
I didn't. Oh, damn it! My great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. That's why I suffer today. Damn
Teach
it!
the importance of renouncing all the evil of every ancestor, going back to Adam and Eve and everyone in between.
Well, that's where
Why take the chance
that's the concept
that
of
you may
original
not
sin.
Be aware of a curse because it hasn't fallen on someone in living memory. For example, if I speak to someone in India, I remind them that going back far enough, they have idolatrous Hindu ancestors. If I speak to someone in Africa or of African descent, I remind them that it's almost certain that they have distant ancestors who practice witchcraft.
Oh my God, where did he get that stock footage from?
Same concerns should be regarded by people with
I like to think that was just the camera tilted down in his own lap.
Oh, he
and
has
he's
black
sitting there right
nails?
now with a skull in his hand and blackened nails.
Nordic ancestry, European ancestry, etc. Each ethnicity has its own unique evil. There's no perfect and complete way to break every curse in your family bloodline. So when you pray to break curses, make your declarations contingent on what you do know and ask the grace of God to cover with the blood of Christ what you don't know. The ESV version of Genesis 4:7 says this: "If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it." The Living Bible puts it this way: "It can be bright with joy if you will do what you should. But if you refuse to obey, watch out. Sin is waiting to attack you, longing to destroy you, but you can conquer it." Think about these words when you pray over the evil curses of your bloodline.
Your financial.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of like at the point now where I think I've already conquered my evil bloodline. So now what do I do?
Good question.
Do I get a snow cone?
Yes. But don't tell Jake Roberts.
What you doing eating a snow cone? I'm going full Viking on these people now.
Let's do this segment. Right here.
Individual situation. Check out the beautiful asshole.
Kaboom.
The individual Brett Keane segment situation.
All right. Here we have it.
Brett Keane, what have you done now?
This is slightly older stuff where he calls an atheist show. Let's see.
You may listen to the show while waiting. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on with the...
Hi, my name is Cynthia. I'm the call screener tonight. Can I get whether you're an atheist or a theist?
I'm a theist.
I'm a theist.
All right, what's your name?
But I'm also a
Keane.
bit of a cunt.
Yeah, my name is Brett Keane.
From St. Louis, Missouri.
From St. Louis. He's not from St. Louis.
Oh.
That's like the largest metropolitan area near him, but he's a hillbilly.
He's mispronouncing Festus.
I'm in St. Louis, too.
St. Festus.
Hey, that's cool.
I'm in Bevo right now, actually. You have any preferred pronouns you use?
Ma'am, can you speak up a little bit? I don't know why it is. You sound a little muffled.
Probably because you're recording it and it's causing some kind of interference or something. It's usually because Brett's recording.
Do you have any preferred pronouns you use?
Well, I'm real big on science. There's male, female, and I'm a male.
Oh, Jesus,
That was a great reaction to what he said, too.
Yeah.
I'm a scientist as my day job, and science actually disagrees with what you just said. But anyway, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, snap.
What?
Oh, snap. But anyways.
I agree that there are forms of mental illness and all that. There's no issue there. Well, I got a couple different questions.
No. Gender is not considered a mental illness.
This is just the call screener.
Yep.
He's not even on the call yet.
Yep.
This cantankerous bastard.
DSM. But we're not going to make each other agree with each other, so what do you want to talk about today?
There's a couple different things. I was wondering if...
Yeah, does Brett think he's on the show? Did he miss the part about being a call... Normally you don't debate the call screener. You just give them the information so they can... Yeah, because like they'll type something to the host of the show to let them know, oh, it's Brett from St. Louis and he wants to talk about this. You know,
Brett's recording this right now for his own show, so he thinks he is the show.
Oh,
he thinks everything going on right now.
Hi,
is
Mrs. Call Screener.
Atheism would be considered objective truth and reality, or is it subjective based upon opinion? I got a couple other questions too, but that's one of my favorites.
Oh, the old hit list from Brett Keane.
Okay.
$5 Patreon. Thank you so much. We had a few people sign up for Patreon during, like, while I was setting up the show, which is amazing.
Nice.
You know, Patreon took away the goals section, but I think I'm going to set a Patreon goal coming up here that I'll probably talk about on the next show after I think about it. But I want to set some milestones on the Patreon to get it up back to a better place. And I'm coming up with some ideas for some goals that we'll deliver on once we hit new landmarks on that.
I hope you're having a nice day, ma'am.
All right. You too. All right, Brett. I'm going to put you in the host queue, and they'll pick you up when they're ready.
All right. All right.
Anyways, we've got a theist caller. Hey there, Brett. How are you doing today?
Hey, handsome. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, is this Brett Keane?
Yeah, we've talked before in the
Oh my God.
past.
Yeah, a little bit. All right.
So is it
Brett,
okay for
how
me
you
to ask
doing?
some questions?
Well, yeah, that's why that's what the show is about. People calling in and asking questions. So feel free to ask us questions.
Yes,
All right.
Brett. That's why we asked you to call in. That's why our screener asked you what question you wanted to ask. Not only is it okay, not only is it implied, Brett, but it's actually practically stupid for you to be asking again on air after all we've done to get you here. After all you've done to get you here, you called in.
Yeah,
From a naturalistic evolution.
naturalist. This is the same shtick Brett's been doing for like 20 years now. It's ridiculous.
Brett's dog and pony show is down a pony, and the dog, I gotta tell you, is on its last legs.
Oh no.
Ordinary concept. What kind of mutation do you think happened that causes it to where we were able to have a healing process in our bodies?
What?
I'm going to have to take a quote from my man Josh here and say that, that's out of, how do you put it, Josh? That's not my area of expertise.
Not my area of expertise, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how.
How did we evolve to have healing in our bodies? It's like, how would they know that?
But it doesn't make you smart to ask a stupid person a question out of their wheelhouse. It makes you stupider than they are.
Like our particular
situation
healing process developed over time. I'm sure that there are plenty of people out there that can accurately address that particular question. But what I can tell you is that there's no way a designer designed it with the amount of flaws that are apparent.
Brett's voice is so tinny, sounds like it's AI generated.
Yeah, but it's not. He just uses a cheap microphone.
Crap microphone, yeah.
And
it's like the idea that healing wouldn't evolve when supposedly we went from tadpole to monkey to human. Like all the evolution would happen if we're growing limbs so we can walk out of water. Healing seems like a very reasonable addition to evolution.
Right.
If we just got a cut after all we've done to get here, if a cut would just continue to bleed until we died, that'd be a problem.
Yep.
If you look at everything evolution suggests, healing is a very reasonable addition.
Very kind of important, you know?
It's not even important. Reasonable. Like imagine if we just bled all the time.
Yeah.
If we were all what was that? Hemophiliac.
Yep.
Is that
Strangely enough, and that was like a common in European royalty because of all the inbreeding.
Body heals right now. Just from a layman's standpoint, and from an engineer's standpoint, if a deity did design it and engineer it, then he did the worst job that he could possibly do. And it, in fact, looks exactly like what the process would be if it developed naturally on its own through natural process. So it seems to me like God had no hand in our ability to heal.
All right. It's fair enough. I mean, that's your opinion.
Fair enough. That's your opinion.
Are we able to
bud.
do a little bit longer of a discussion, or are you guys wanting to get somebody else on?
Well, we do have 3 other callers calling in that we do need to get to. If you maybe
I gotta tell you something. If God did design humans, the fact that he didn't make us backwards compatible, smart. Because if we were backwards compatible, I would be banging monkeys, and we would have some weird offspring on this planet. So the 1 point for God if we are designed.
Possibly one more question that we can address, then that would be great. But yeah, we don't want to take up too much time tonight.
All right, I'll try something a little bit less complicated. So we've all observed deformities in humans and animals.
Something a little less complicated, since you guys are idiots and you can't understand my question. That's what he's doing. That was like a subtle jab right there. Sorry, that was too tough for you.
Basically,
not that his question was stupid, asking the wrong people the wrong things. No, I'll settle it down for you.
Mutations, as you would say. If we found the remains of a deformed person or animal, how would we go about separating it from an alleged transitional fossil? Like, let's say a couple 100,000 years ago or a million years ago, you find something, how do you know it's not something that was deformed or messed up in some way?
Well, I mean, I would think that you could morphologically compare it to other animals of that type. I mean, if it's a unique skeleton, then we're likely going to be able to unique in that it's not a skeleton or a fossil of anything that we currently have in our fossil record. We're more than likely going to be able to compare it to similar fossils, and so I mean, The way that I would go about separating that out would just be to morphologically compare fossils to similar fossils.
Yeah, the idea, Brett, is that there's multiple fossils found from that era, and they all contain the same things that make them what we would deduce as normal. And if there was an outlier, if we only found one of them, could it be the outlier? Sure. With the chance that the outlier was the one fossilized piece of history that we found out of all of history digging in those areas, well, hey, then we're just making a wrong assumption. But the idea that we're only finding one of these things is wrong. It's inherently stupid. We're probably finding much more than this single piece of data, and everything seems to line up. And not only does it line up, but it lines up congruently with other things in similar eras.
We don't already have a record of that particular fossil.
That particular
there.
situation.
So I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to really do for, I guess, maybe your position as far as creationism goes, just because like all fossils are transitional fossils. So, life is always in transition from one form to another. That's what evolution is.
No, I don't believe so. Male and female are the only two genders.
I believe in science.
There's no transitional fossil of gender.
To say that, this fossil isn't a transitional fossil is just not even wrong, because you're just, it just shows that you don't understand like transitional fossils, evolution, all that kind of stuff. So.
Well,
and I don't know if he really doesn't understand or he pretends to not understand, because that's where his argument starts to fall apart. I have trouble believing anything he does is genuine and it's not just like a weird angle at something. So I've been asking myself this question for years.
Has been problem
because he used to make atheist content that would easily debunk the arguments he currently makes. So
you got any thoughts there, Josh?
Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to talk to
nice
this guy.
Meeting you, Josh, and it was a great conversation. Godless engineer. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you so much there, Brett. I hope that you'll call in again. This actually was a pretty nice interaction. So appreciate you.
Oh,
You guys have a good one.
everybody left happy.
Everyone's best friends now. Okay, let's do this one. You know, I want to do Jared videos now just to do the Jared intro, but I don't have any.
Evolution from watching the X-Men animated series.
Oh, snap.
The new X-Men animated series is pretty good. I enjoy it. You know, I watched the Netflix Sandman series, you know, the Neil Gaiman Sandman series. Well, they just released a companion series to that. It's called the Dead Boy Detective Agency, I believe is what it's called. Oh. And it actually takes place in Port Townsend, Washington, which is kind of weird.
Interesting.
But it was filmed in BC. It was filmed like near Vancouver. Yeah. But it takes place in Port Townsend. Like they're all trapped in Port Townsend for some reason. But it has some of the same actors from the Sandman series playing their characters in this one, so they're like directly correlated. But it's like these two like dead guys that probably died when they were like 17, 18 years old, and they solve mysteries and they try to run from the afterlife.
And it's not Twilight?
No. Nope.
Trapped in Port Townsend must mean the ferry's down.
No, there's like a supernatural reason for like why the one guy is trapped there. Yeah. Yes.
Did you watch the new Knuckles series yet?
No. Teddy Rubskin got triggered by Jared's Sonic tier list. You watched that? We watched that at Actual Mania. You know where yeah.
Yeah, stupid Jared.
Yeah, I just like the intros. They're the best thing about Jared. See, that's cool when a lolcow brings out other people's creativity. You know, like all this like Chris Chan stuff that was really creative and Cobra and a lot of them. They inspire the creativity of others.
You know, Trixie, I believe she used to go by Digibro.
Oh yeah.
She posted a picture of a Sonichu medallion on Twitter. I think it was today, and said, I think it was my cousin committed unalive, and her mother's going through all her stuff trying to like sell it off and get rid of it, and she found this, and it was a Sonichu medallion.
That's funny.
Damn it.
Sonichu. Haven't watched what is it now? Jesus Christine Sonichu Prime. Haven't watched them in a while.
Sonichu Prime.
Quick reminder, everybody, patreon.com/DP. You should check it out because this month's giveaway is the Space Puppy sticker. It's a circular sticker. It's very large. You could stick it on the back of a car, or you could actually, let me show you guys the design a little closer because I feel like these mock-ups don't really do it justice. And I wanted to share it with everyone. Jesus Christine Sonichu Prime even. Where's that fucking...
Ben, when are you going to get out the polymer clay and make Space Puppy medallions?
I would need Model Magic. Isn't that what?
Was that the good polymer clay, Model Magic?
I think that's what was. All right. Here, I'll show you with this person here.
This is White Greg.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like.
White Greg is our model.
Yeah.
Now, Space Puppy, is Space Puppy a communist?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not sure what her political views are, actually.
Just need to know who put her in space is all.
Yeah. All right. Did you see? I saw this video. There's this podcast called The Vanguard. They're like a politically motivated podcast.
Okay.
And they interviewed Jesse Ventura and his son. And
interesting.
Jesse talked about Vince a little bit. I think Jesse, with the way things are going, he might come back to wrestling.
I heard like the dirt sheets saying that he's been in talks, maybe.
Yep. So here's an interview.
Well, that actually segues perfectly into something I wanted to ask you about, because the elephant in the room, obviously, when it comes to professional wrestling for the last, 4 decades, has been Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, due to
and that's his son, Tyrell Ventura.
A pending indictment.
I think he hosted a few shows himself on when they were doing the Russia thing, which they both left RT as soon as the war started.
Took care of each other due to a fossil that showed signs of healing, meaning they looked after their injured. Stegosaurs used its spikes for defense because a tail spike was the only thing that matched an allosaur wound.
Very interesting. See, we learned so much from these. And by the way, we're at 63%.
I want to learn all night from donos.
Yeah, teach us more. Dude, if we had President Jesse Ventura, he wouldn't be funding wars and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
he'd probably get
he's very anti-military industrial complex.
The military industrial complex would probably take care of that quickly.
Statement from the federal government for human sex trafficking, among other misconduct.
He lied. Did you see? Jesse Ventura laughed. So like, for people who aren't familiar, they were broadcast partners. Like, in the early days of Vince McMahon owning WWE when it was WWF, you didn't know that he was the owner, and like, he was the babyface good guy announcer, and Jesse was the heel announcer, and Jesse would even like bully Vince McMahon, and they never mentioned that he was actually the boss of everybody. You know?
Yeah, they would have like on-air official representation. It would almost even take off from the fact that Vince owned everything. I remember they had Jack
Tunney, and then it was Gorilla Monsoon after that.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack Tunney was the owner of the Toronto wrestling territory. That's how he got the job. Yeah.
Has been,
Vince
removed
just bought up his tape library and then gave him the job.
from the organization of the WWE. They're now under the same umbrella as the parent organization for the UFC. It's all under completely new management. Do you foresee that opening up better opportunities for wrestlers who, as we've alluded,
runs? He should take Cornel West as his running mate. That would be the greatest administration ever.
If Jesse Ventura ran, he would be the best option, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, would he be likely to win? Probably not, unless they let him debate. He would be the sharpest person in a debate. It would be Jesse and Trump, like, trading barbs, and Biden, like, stuttering and looking like he was in agony the whole time. That's what it would be like.
To numerous times opinion. Already on this podcast
I think in like a perfect world where everything was like true and fair, I think so. But the way we have with media character assassination right now, I don't think someone like Ventura can even have a chance. You need somebody who's willing to play the game. The military industrial complex is in power, and everything around it exists to keep it, and everything
I'm Billy
else
the Fridge, and this is conspiracy theory.
Absolutely.
There's a whole lot of you just follow the money.
And of course, people will think of The Rock.
There's
they'll think of
receipts.
John Cena. They'll think of the guys on TV. But the brutal grind to get there, and all the guys who are left behind with torn up knees and bad backs and prescription pill problems, and no recourse down the line, even though they were the ones that created the opportunities for the guys who did become superstars. Do you foresee that changing now that Vince isn't there, or do you think it's going to be still more of that long battle?
I don't know. That will depend on the wrestlers. Are the wrestlers willing to put their careers on the line? That's what I did. You saw what happened to my career. Even the great Jesse Ventura was cut loose because I stood up in a dressing room before WrestleMania 2. WrestleMania 2. I stood up in a dressing room, and it was 3 or 4 weeks before the event. And I said, boys, now's the time to unionize. I said, all the publicity's gone out. All we have to do is stick together, go out to the press and say, we refuse to wrestle unless federal negotiators are brought in. It's a federal law. They would have to come in. And I said, who do you think turns on the lights in these buildings? Union people. If they recognize what we're doing, Vince cannot run WrestleMania. The first thing that one of the guys said to me was, well, we need Hogan. Hulk Hogan. I said, no, we don't.
Yeah. What you need is, and what they've kind of done right now, is they've made all the wrestlers Hogan level contracts. So for them to unionize, you know, if you're partially decent, you're making enough guaranteed money for you not to worry about being unionized.
That's why Hogan ratted out Jesse after he did what he was just talking about.
He was getting Hogan money. He's like, I don't need you guys to unionize. I'm already getting Hogan money. I'm Hulk Hogan.
All we need's Bundy. That's who he's wrestling.
King Kong Bundy. So they were going to try to hold up the main event to unionize.
Yeah. And if everybody came out, if Bundy came out and they were public about it, and the union people who set up the arena and set up everything in the 80s, when unions were actually still a beloved thing in America, it could have worked, but everybody would have had to have some balls. And I think that most of those guys were in the locker room happy to be eating Hogan's leftovers.
Yeah, I grew up in a very pro-union city. Like a ton of people there are union workers. We didn't get a Walmart until it was either late 90s or early 2000s. We didn't have a Walmart in the
I still don't think there's a Walmart in the proper Seattle area. You got to kind of drive outside to get there.
There's there's Walmarts over here, but I don't think I've ever seen a Walmart in Seattle, but maybe, I don't know.
Need Hogan.
I think there might be one in Renton, which is still
still over
Seattle.
here. It's
Yeah.
And then we can contact the Charlotte guys and have them walk out. The WCW people. And if we do this together, we can finally get a union. I gave this impassioned speech.
Yeah, if they would have unionized the whole industry, that would have been big.
If they were going to bring a federal commission in, it would have had to have been the whole industry.
Yep.
That night. I went home the next day. My phone rang, and it was Vince. What in the hell are you doing yakking about this union crap in the dressing room? And I stood up to him. I said, Vince, why can't we? And I said, it's not just to fight you. I said, right now I pay $5,000 a year for health insurance for me and my family. This was the 80s, people. And I said, I pay over $5,000 a year. If we had strength in numbers, maybe I'd only have to pay $1,200 a year. I said, what about retirement? I've seen hundreds of guys retire after 30 years in this business. They don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And I said, if we had a union, maybe they could retire and get $500 a month. They'd get something.
It's crazy to see Jesse Ventura now, because he's back in the day, he was so jacked, crazy jacked. So it's just to see him. He's still a very tall guy, but he's not jacked like he used to be.
He was 6'7", musclehead dude, going in movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, looking huge with Arnold.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Next to Hogan, he was just as big as Hogan size wise.
Well, I had
and I feel like he was as on the mic, he was as big of a star as Hogan, in the show, like Jesse Ventura's commentary back then was such a huge part.
To quit then because I signed to do Predator and Vince wasn't going to let me. He said I couldn't do it. So I said, fine, I quit. And I went off and did Predator. Well, while I was doing Predator, Arnold come up to me and says, Jesse, I want you for the Running Man. I said, great. So before I went back to Vince, we negotiated the Running Man and I had it in my back pocket. So when I went back to Vince, I said to him straight out, I said, Vince, you don't have to worry about me crying out for union anymore. He goes, really? Why not? I said, I got mine. I said, I'm now a member of the Screen Actors Guild. I said, I get retirement benefits. I said, I get health care. I said, if these guys are too stupid to stand up for themselves, I said, they're on their own. I tried. And so I have the Screen Actors Guild. And I will tell you guys today, I am currently on and collecting retirement from the Screen Actors Guild right this moment.
Do you remember?
Does he get governor retirement too?
I don't know about that. Maybe. Do you remember when we watched that pilot that he did? It was like a buddy cop show, and it was him and Roddy Piper. It was a pilot for a TV show. I'm pretty sure we watched it.
I don't even remember that.
It was called
really interesting.
It was called Tag Team, and it was him and Roddy Piper, and they were basically like ex-pro wrestlers that become cops. And they use like their wrestling shit in like to fight crime. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't remember that from this show or from before, because I was always stuff I would look at when I was into wrestling. I'd go look for all types of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why unions are so damn important, and that's why we got to continue to fight for them across the board. Like this country, look, for lack of a better word, this country was built on that desire and that organizing principle of workers organizing to protect themselves from oppressive, corporate leadership, or in that case, the robber barons of old. We see the same thing today with the tech industry. We see the same thing repeated. And of course, unions can be corrupted if you have bad union leadership, obviously.
The mafia.
Right, but that's again on
the mafia was effective.
If you form a union, you got to fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, booze being illegal for like a decade helped that a lot.
To keep it above board,
it's called
people
vigilance.
Are protected. Vigilance, exactly.
Vigilance.
To your question, will the WWE change and become more? Could we see something like that? Well, it's hard to say because you're talking.
It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it on its own. They're not going to just. Actually, Jesse does that. He's like, they're not going to just set up a union for them. You have to actually make it happen.
Still talking about TKO. It's a big corporate conglomerate. But at the end of the day, I don't know, Dad, you'd know this better than me, but I mean, with one part of the leadership now being Triple H, Paul Levesque, he's a former wrestler. So that might, I
wonder if Triple H will ever get back in the ring again. Probably, right?
I don't think he will. He had some health issues, right?
Yeah,
I think he's actually done.
Mick Foley was going to come back, and then he ended up having a concussion that he didn't know he had. He was going to do like a last match thing.
He's worked those roads and knows that process and knows what wrestlers go through. So that might create a sympathetic ear to this. I don't know.
It might. But I'm going to counter and say, no, he's management now. and I'm going to counter and say, the only way you're going to see a union in wrestling, it has to come from the rank and file. It is not going to come from the executive. They're not going to come out and say, hey,
for signing up for Patreon.
Guess what? Sign here.
Well, I don't think Triple H is going to unionize anything. I do think he's going to make more opportunity for his workers to actually work and make money. I don't think we're going to be living in a world where there's a one-star WWE anymore. I think it's going to be very cyclical where, they want to have multiple number one guys, so their number one guys aren't working so hard.
Yeah, I agree. And the last WrestleMania was kind of a testament to that. Union. The union is a long shot, even though it probably should happen. But maybe making at least the top guys actual employees and not contractors. And then
Well, the top guys can afford not to be unionized, right? It's the guys that aren't top guys.
But
that
I mean,
need
like, forget unionizing them. At least making them like actual employees and not just private contractors. They should probably do that. Like the health insurance.
What's the benefit for the top guys? Like they're going to have enough money to cover all that stuff, right?
No, it definitely would lower costs on things like health insurance, and they could get like an actual retirement plan through it, like that kind of stuff. You can still get without being a member of a union, and getting like you'd have like unemployment insurance and that kind of stuff too. Things that you get when you're an actual employee and not just someone who's contracted. There's more
that for the
protections.
little guys. They're the ones that are hurting for it the most.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still a benefit to the big guys too. I mean, it's definitely better than just being like a lot of your you pay a lot of your own expenses up front when you're a private contractor, and then like it's up to them if they reimburse it or whatever.
One T-shirt and a big guy level is going to cover all of that. It's like the little guys. They're the ones that really need something, I think.
I'm just saying, it's not about who needs it. I'm just saying across the board. Yeah, it's not about who needs it the most, though. What I'm saying is that across the board, it's a benefit to everyone, even the people who don't need it as much or at all. There's like literally no benefit to anyone working there to being a contractor. It's all just it's been that way to benefit the company this whole time. That's what I'm saying. That's why they do it.
Yeah, that's been the way it's been.
When
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall got their Favored Nations contract and brought Favored Nations into pro wrestling, that started giving everybody guaranteed money. I don't know what the next level is. Is it a union? Is that the next level for guaranteed money in pro wrestling? I'm trying to think of the last time there was a big step up like that.
Unionization is a long shot. Like I was saying, unionization is a pretty big long shot, but at least like getting an actual employee status with the company, that could be a step in the right direction.
Oh, you guys, you're going to get health benefits in retirement because we've done this out of the goodness of our hearts. Well, if wrestlers are going to wait for that with this new corporation, they're going to be waiting a long time. But I will say this, I will tell you this, now that, and I think Ty will be okay with it, but now that wrestling has chosen this new direction, shall we call it, Jesse Ventura's in talks with him.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like,
there you go.
That's
That's breaking news right here on the Vanguard. Yeah.
But, again, it requires.
It'll probably be for some kind of like Legends deal or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Hired them going in this new direction, and I hope you get what I'm saying about the new direction. The direction the company is now going.
I've worked at companies where they literally have like anti-union training that they put you through to like dissuade you from trying to start a union. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough for Jesse Ventura and the WWE to begin talking again.
Well, that's certainly exciting. I know we have a lot of WWE fans in our chat, particularly Ronwell, who desperately wanted us to ask you about the Vince McMahon.
If you notice, he didn't really say what he thinks about the actual Vince McMahon, investigation.
A
storyline that was going on.
Yeah, so that's cool, man.
If he's going to be working with them, they don't want him to be. They don't want people working with them to be talking about it. There's no
of course not
deed in speaking on it.
And I don't know, like he knew Vince pretty well, and they fought in court.
I'm surprised wrestlers can't join the Screen Actors Guild, or that should be at least the one they make an effort to tag up with.
Yeah, it is acting. I think it probably. I mean, they produce so much content, and it is acting on a screen. So it almost should. They should be able to unionize through that union, but I don't know. I don't know.
They might be able to go around the wrestling industry and directly try and be brought into the Screen Actors Guild.
I wonder if those WWE films got met SAG qualifications like all the ones Cena did back in the day. So Cena's
they all did.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, all those guys that did a WWE movie are SAG.
Scott had a small role in a WWE Netflix exclusive, and I went through it and saw him in it. Like I skimmed through it and found the scene.
Did he have lines?
No. They just wanted people who knew how to wrestle that lived in that area, and he was in it. There's like a scene where there's a whole bunch of wrestlers, and he's one of them, and he's wearing like a red singlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too Hot, Scott Henson.
Yeah, he wasn't in his cat attire at that point.
What the heck, Scott?
Yeah, well, they had a costume they wanted him to wear. It's just like blonde guy in red singlet.
Huge boner guy in red singlet was how he was billed, I think.
Yeah.
But wrestlers really, that's the big push. If you get some wrestling fame, try and get in some movies afterwards, because you only need a couple appearances in a production to get a SAG card.
Yeah, I'm just like, it almost seems like the WWE appearances should count, but I'm not sure what the actual requirements are.
It might not count because it's live.
Isn't some of it?
Because I don't think appearing on like a live, like a Jimmy Fallon live, I don't think that would count type thing.
Yeah, but that's so different. Like, you're not acting on Jimmy Fallon live, right? Like, I don't know. Like, okay, if you were on SNL, could you get into SAG? And that's live, but that's like acting on TV.
I'm not sure if SNL does. Maybe, yeah. It's Screen Actor Guild, right?
Is it only film, or is it TV also?
TV exists within screen acting.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm not sure what the exact. I know there were people who were making productions that were web productions, but they were going through production companies, and they were all SAG. They got SAG benefits from it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, Big Face Billy is back again. Big Face Billy is back again. Memo cara enorme. Ask your questions, get your answers. The movie I did still hasn't released yet. Where the heck is my SAG card? Been in some documentaries, didn't get no SAG card for that. Gotta get my SAG card, dude. I'm trying to retire. I got SAG, but not the card, if you know what I mean. Damn, Seth Looks. I know what you mean. You're watching in 4K. You got the biggest face, Billy, right now. Ain't that a sweet treat? Ain't that a beautiful thing? The Mad Clown Billy need to start the DP Union. Me and all the actual maniacs are starting the DP Union. When's the album dropping? I'm thinking the end of this month or the beginning of June. Everything's done except the cover art. I'm waiting on the cover art to come back. I had a few other people I was talking to about doing it, and the guy that I initially had thought about maybe doing it hit me up and was like, I can do it. And I was like, oh shit. So I'm just waiting on him to finish it. I think it's going to be really dope album art. So I don't mind waiting a little longer for it. Can't find the Alki David documentary theater, and it's called Lord of the Freaks. I do believe it's available on some platform currently. I think I remember somebody asking about it recently, and they found the Alki David documentary Lord of the Freaks that I have appearance in, where you see my muddy butt next to Ron Jeremy's face. For all the kids that want to see mud butt in Ron Jeremy's face.
All right. Let's check out.
Making residuals.
I'm looking for something interesting. Oh, okay.
Ron Jeremy's face wasn't in my muddy butt, by the way. He was just on the video behind my muddy butt.
Let's watch Sturgis whine about something.
Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking about Nintendo censoring the scene of enemy Goombas catcalling a female party member from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake, which is absolutely insane to me. I don't think they should be censoring this. I am completely against any type of censorship, especially in old games. I don't understand why big companies like Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft always have to censor these.
He said Sony.
Games for this modern audience that doesn't play games. They're absolute tourists, and they don't have any money to purchase these games. They're just gonna sit up on Twitter, cry all day about something they see
Just gonna sit there, bud.
offended by, and then never buy the product after the changes are made. So this comes to us from Bounding in the Comics. In the latest,
I'm
case
glad
of
to hear
remake-
him complain about people complaining about things.
Yeah.
Remake making
That's his
scene
shtick.
added to source material's original script. Nintendo has censored a scene wherein a trio of enemies aggressively catcall one of Mario's female allies from their upcoming remake of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. So right here, you can see
He's just not. He can't appreciate anything new. Everything was better back in the day, and that's
Don't ruin.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my Paper Mario remake. Whoa.
Yep. That's what's going on.
the original text.
This is
that
pretty
says-
stupid, though. I mean, they're bad guys. They're doing bad
Sure.
things. They should be able to catcall.
Sure. Yeah.
If it was Mario, like, hey, a Princess Peach, maybe you could lift up the skirt and I could eat your little linguine. That would be kind of weird.
Yes.
But this is a bad guy Goomba.
Here, obviously they're villains, so of course they're going to say things like this. Occurring early on in the red-hatted plumber's two-dimensional journey and serving as a setup to
Do you think Sturgis has some of those Blade Devil waifu pillows that he was advertising on his channel?
Probably, but I think he keeps them way cleaner than Jared's stuffed animals that he helps.
game's live combat tutorial. The scene in question sees Mario and his newfound allies, Goombella, a friendly female Goomba, and Professor Frankly, a bespectacled and academic-minded Goomba, accosted by an assorted trio of rough and tumble Goombas as they attempt to make their way through the ruins found underneath the city of Rogueport. In the original 2004 GameCube release of The Thousand Year Door, upon crossing paths with the enemy trio, each of its members proceed to catcall Goombella, to which she ultimately responds by telling them to get
It's
Unable to handle
ridiculous.
this rejection, the Goombas then proceed to save face by attacking both her and Mario, thus kicking off the first combat encounter in which players can actually control the party.
But now
The
in the
scene in
new
question-
game, the Goombas come in, bro, and they say, hey, Goombella, may we know your pronouns? May we please know your pronouns, Goombella? And I think that makes the game way worse. They should be talking bad about how sexy she is and not asking her for respectfully knowing what her pronouns are.
Bud.
Sorry, I can't do Sturgis's voice passionately.
Well, that's okay.
The beginning of this Let's Play as provided by YouTuber Playframe, where the Goomba says, hey man, what's up? Who's the hottie you got there with you? The second one says, what's up, baby? Why don't you hang out with us for a while?
What's up, baby? It's so funny to hear him read it in his goofy cartoon voice.
We play real nice.
Play real nice. And despite Goomba says, man, what's a fine-looking Goomba doing with a tubby mustache, man, like that? And Goombella responds by saying, oh, it is, like, so sweet that you boys think I'm cute, seriously, but yeah, guys like you make me feel like totally barfy, now get out of our way. Then they respond by saying, ouch, that was cold. or you're too good for us, and nobody sings us like that. So yeah. However, as seen in a preview of the title provided by CG Magazine, the upcoming 2024 Switch remake sees this scene plays out in a much different fashion. Therein, rather than leaping to blows due to being rejected by Goombella, the enemy trio instead take issue with Mario and company's trespassing on their underground turf. So now, the scene reads like this. Hey man, what's up? We think it's cool to just waltz your way into our underground. Typical, your surface level snobs are so stuck up. Like it's
He reads it so enthusiastically.
the sun, I like to breathe.
Do you like it better when he reads this or when he reads Twitter?
This.
Yeah? Okay.
Clean air. Yeah, come on over, scruffy mustache man. We're going to teach you some proper manners. And Goombella responds by saying, leave him alone. Can't two academics and a world-famous hero wander the sewers of a port town in peace? If this is your usual greeting to visitors, then you must have learned it down here because it stinks.
This sucks. This dialogue sucks. But guess what sucks even more? Somebody wrote a stupid article about them changing this. Somebody like Sturgis is trying to grandize this to be some really important topic in the culture war. That sucks even more. What really sucks is that if some kid picks up their Switch and plays this game, if they care either way about either of these things, you know what I'm doing when I'm playing this game? I'm hitting the A button to pass through their fucking dialogue before reading it. Because I don't need to hear some stupid idiot writer telling me what a Goomba says. I don't play Super Mario to see what the Goombas are saying. I play Super Mario to jump on Goombas, hit boxes, get fire flowers, and blaze things.
I do like the fire flowers. Those are
I
fun.
like the fire flowers.
I like the
They're fun.
Tanuki suit.
I like the Tanuki suit. It's fun. I don't care about Goomba dialogue.
Horrible. Ouch, that was cold. You too. What? You're too good for a fight. You ain't. If you ain't looking to tussle, then stay out of the sewer. Nobody doesn't start a fight without us. This isn't even like English
Well, I mean,
at all.
Nobody hasn't started a fight with us. Nobody. Let's get them. That's English.
English.
Notably, per a 2004 translation guide, the game's a Japanese script provided by GameFAQs user Tsukichi. In its original non-localized release, Martin's encounter with the Goombas plays out roughly the same as it would in English, with Goombella being hit on and rejecting the enemies. As of right, Nintendo has not yet offered any public comment as to the reasons behind their censoring of their Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake. Still making its way to Nintendo Switch on May 23rd. So it's a good thing I do have the original. This will most likely make the original go up in price.
Honestly, I don't think they changed it because they were sexualizing the woman. I think they changed it because they called Mario a tubby mustache man. And finally, 2024, finally, you're not allowed to make fun of fat people. I waited my whole life for this. Thank God they changed it.
It is funny because he is fat.
It as it was intended to be played. I don't understand why they're doing this nonsense. Especially, like I said in the beginning, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft do these weird things where they censor.
They do these weird things, bud.
For this
they do these weird things.
Modern audience that doesn't have any money to buy these games, doesn't actually play these games, and when they do play these games, they enter a gaming space. They're typically tourists that want to change what gaming is, like they have been doing for years, because they get offended by literally everything. So in order for gaming to fit the way they want to play, they want everything to change for them and not have gaming the way it's always meant to be. People talk a lot of crap.
The way it's always meant to be, bud.
Fan service games. People just want to be...
Hold up. So people, he's talking bad about people who want games to change for them while also standing up for people who are crying that don't want games to change.
Yes.
Come on, man. Play the 2004 version. Get a cartridge. Go play it.
And to just want to have their entertainment and be left alone. And that's absolutely it. I don't understand why they remake old games and then they change stuff. They did the same thing with Super Mario RPG, where you could find a spicy item that Peach has in her room, and they removed that from the game as well.
I wonder what it is. I wouldn't. Yeah. That's not the sort of thing I would know. So I'm just like, what do you mean by spicy item? Like,
what's the spicy item, Sturgis? If it's a mushroom head that looks like a dildo, she's from the Mushroom Kingdom. She's probably going to have a little mushroom under her bed.
At least I believe so. They did the same thing with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where you could find Tifa's underwear in the original game, and now you can't.
I love how he
It's just a
knows all
weird
this
thing.
stuff.
They're
It's
supposed to
weird.
be preserving these things, and they just don't. So that's why people go back and play original versions, because they want to play the original versions that are uncensored, like untouched, and just the way it was meant to be played. So,
no, well, I'm a real gamer. I'm from the real side of Gamergate. Only I'm allowed to be offended, bro. I gatekeep being offended, bro.
It's Bud. It's Bud. Jared is bro. Yeah.
Bro.
Wait, the voice what you were just doing with the bro sounded like Vince Russo.
Whoa. Oh God.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
Not a fan.
Bro.
Not a fan.
I saw him doing an interview recently where he was throwing out this theory that maybe while Vince was sleeping, Janelle Grant got Vince's phone and sent those nasty text messages from his phone.
Same thing that happened with the real killer in the Benoit house.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn it.
The dogs are corralled in the pool. The back door is unlocked.
Still real to me, damn it.
That whole Tifa thing was supposed to be for a comedic thing in the game as well, so it's nothing really too serious, so I don't understand why they changed it in the first place. But
now the game's not funny anymore, bud.
Thank you all for checking out the video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button and comment below if you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. Let me know if you're going to be picking this game up, and I'll see you on the next
Picking
one.
up this game. Let me know. Hell yeah. Hell
Good
yeah.
old Sturgis.
Sturge is on the verge.
I saw a great fan art of Rippa Centipede, and it was Eric July at the front with Sturgis's mouth kissing on Eric July's bum, and heel versus babyface getting rid of the Rippa Centipede. He was screaming pronouns into Sturgis's butt. I was so proud because Sturgis was literally a nobody until we started picking on him here at Drunken Peasants podcast. And then what happened? We pick on little baby Sturgis, and now he's ahead of heel versus babyface in the mockery art of the Ripper Human Centipede. I love that.
Here's a video Eric July made.
All right, I got this hilarious email. And it stems from this article that's, I guess, wrote by a guy that's not too fond of me. But on social media, this also got posted. I'll show you guys real quick. Some guy says it's Eric July canon in DC Comics now. And let's look at the article that they are referencing. DC Comics on wokeness, Elon Musk, and legacy media in Superman. I'm covering it the day that it was published by Dick Dixon of Bleeding Asshole, who is not not a big fan of me. And they give you a brief breakdown of what's going on in the current DC universe. Perry White, editor-in-chief of Daily Planet, currently on a sabbatical, is standing for mayor, of Metropolis.
He's having trouble.
He is seen as little, old, and out
He
of
only writes comic books. He can't actually read them.
And so they go on talking about some anti-alien, anti-Superman stuff, aliens for deportation. And you also have this part right here. Perry White is even assaulted by the media, the shock jocks, and the socials with familiar phrases. Alien DNA in the chocolate milk. I mean, that's only in the Marvel universe. In the DC universe, aliens are more likely to blah, 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 blah.
And then look at the drawing of that guy. Do you see it?
Oh, damn.
So this is the picture that everybody's referencing right here, that Dick Dixon also referenced. And that's this guy with the text talking about people being bullied, saying home being loud comes naturally. And because they're talking about wokeness, which is what, again, Dick Dixon, Access Media guy, said in the title, the headline. That's what's leading people to believe that this guy right here looks just a little bit familiar. and his build, and his hat that he's wearing, and this microphone that he has as well. Yes, there is some similarities. I will be the first to say it. Now, look, I'm not going to say without a doubt that that's exactly what they were going for, that the writer, and this is, just so we have our ducks in a row, this is...
I'm 100% sure that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Eric July. Comic books know the comic book writers know the comic book industry. And you are, whether you like it or not, a part of the comic book industry that people talk about. It's those millions of dollars that you fund for your shit comic books. You're going to be put in there. They probably write all... I don't read comic books a lot, but I bet you if you read a comic book, at least every month, one of the big companies is probably putting something out that's aware of a current social issue or a social celebrity. They're probably writing them in some way.
It's out on the 30th, yes, of this month, House of Brainiac. That's where you will be able to check this out. That's the name of it. Not going to say without a doubt that's supposed to be me. I can see where people would think that that's to be the case between hat and the mic and the headphones. It's the same mic too as the Shure SM7B, which I'm not the only person that uses. Maybe it's just a coincidence, and it's just,
it's you, Eric. The only thing missing is fur on its shoulders.
Yeah, was he wearing a tank top in that picture?
He was wearing the exact style shirt Eric's wearing right now, with the similar hat with the similar round logo on it. I'm wondering if Eric July dressed up to match that.
I don't think so. I think he wears this all the time.
Favors me, that's it. But it is a trip, though, and I can for real see where you guys are coming from. That you think that may be what they were doing, and they're just taking a little jab. I can't say without a doubt. I think
he's starstruck.
Coincidence.
It is. He is a little. You should be. Honestly, Eric, get your flowers here. It's you. It is you. They were nodding you as the woke asshole that is saying that they put soy in the chocolate milk. I mean, mutant genes in the chocolate milk or whatever it was. It's you.
We'll do another Sturge.
Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero, and we are back again talking about...
What is he wearing?
...claims that people are out to get...
I'm trying to read his shirt.
Morphicon?
What is that?
...on him, and it seems to have gone
Is it a Power Ranger Mighty Morphin convention?
I don't know.
Now it is up to 30K, and this comes to us from a Twitch streamer over on their platform who puts it out there all on video, because apparently issuing threats is okay for certain people because they have opinions you don't like, or opinions about
that's just your opinion,
like Stellar Blade, that shouldn't be censored. But we have a timeline here, of course, from
Sturgis can't do a video without that happening at least once.
Let's recap. At Grums, these people want you deleted. Gaggle of retards. He thinks people want to delete you for video games and plastic women figurines. At Toadman, I'll give 20K to anyone that deletes Grums. Well, he wasn't wrong, was he? And here's the tweet right here of Grums talking about the Eve outfits uncensored, that it was supposed to be, and this person says 20K to anyone that makes this guy disappear. So we also have this saying, thank you, but this is not dramatic, this is actually happening. What happens is that real life unstable individuals get emboldened by all the social media deletion, and some of these people are really dangerous. So he gets these threats frequently. You have Adrian Campo saying, all I'm saying is that I've seen people get stomped out for less.
In the latest Kendall video, he has Vito in the thumbnail. It's kind of funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't talk about Vito for more than 20 seconds in a 12-minute rambling video.
Yes.
Thank you for reporting this. It says, at Grums, you better shut your dang mouth up and stop salting MC
You
Dio,
dang
you
mouth.
clown, or I swear to God, I'll effing delete you, and all this other stuff. Delete that. Holy crap, delete these guys, and especially this old dog. Who lives in a swell at the bottom of the sea at Grums? whole family, which this is in reference to something, to they believe an earthquake going on where his family lives. And that's what these people actually said to him because he has different opinions from these weirdos online. So now this is a clip
These
here.
weirdos.
It says here by Grums, Twitch streamer at Denims TV ups my bounty to 30K while reacting to Asmongold's video about Tone Man's deletion against me. This is getting out of hand. This should be a permanent suspension on Twitch and X, also at FBI.
All right. What is he? What's going on? I'm lost.
know.
I'm lost.
I don't know.
Why do we care about this? We don't. All right. Goodbye, Sturgis. God.
Delete.
Delete.
The wheat.
Man. Whew. You know, I saw this news story. These tourists, they went to Turks and Caicos and accidentally brought live ammunition rounds with them. They didn't bring a gun, but they brought bullets, and they're facing like over a decade in jail.
Damn.
Yeah. Check this out.
Valerie Watson finally made it home to Oklahoma, reunited with her kids today after a frightening 2-week ordeal in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Her husband Ryan is still there in jail.
And just to get to hold my babies was something that I have been thinking about for a long time.
Oh my
Our goal
God,
is
this
to get Ryan
witch. She put the bullets in his bag so she wouldn't have to go through a crazy divorce proceeding.
Because we can't be a family without Dad.
The two shared their story last week before their first court hearing. They were stuck on the island, their passports confiscated. The Watsons left for vacation April 7th, visiting Turks and Caicos Islands to celebrate Ryan and some friends' 40th birthdays. When they went through security for their return flight,
When they were coming back is when it got flagged. They were like leaving.
That's crazy that it didn't get caught on the way there.
Yeah.
TSA was like, whatever. Bullets are fine. This is America.
carry-on was flagged and searched. Officials found a Ziploc bag of bullets.
They were hunting ammunition rounds that I use for whitetail deer, and I recognized them, and I thought, oh man, what a bonehead mistake. That I had no idea that those were in there.
They were from a previous hunting trip. Police were called and they were taken into custody.
When I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. This was a complete innocent mistake. Like, I had no idea that they were in there. I would have never, ever intentionally we came here to vacation. They, at that time, had referenced a law and told me that I was going to be looking at 12 years in prison.
When I heard that, I immediately was terrified because I was like, we can't both be in prison for 12 years. We have kids at home.
We can't both be. Her crocodile tears. She knows what she did. We can't both be in prison.
Innocent mistake that we didn't
She planted them on him, Ben.
We didn't even know it was there.
The two were charged with suspicion of possession of ammunition. After 11 days of waiting, charges against Valerie were dropped. In 2022, the islands passed an amendment with stiffer penalties for possession of weapons or ammunition, increasing the mandatory minimum prison sentence to 12 years.
That's harsh.
Last September, the U.S.
Dude,
Embassy
they
in
were just 2 years too late.
the Bahamas issued a travel alert, warning Americans after a tourist from Indiana got an 8-month prison sentence for possession of ammunition.
I've been here for almost 70 days now after posting bail. Right now, just waiting to go.
What's
to the
up
hearing.
with all these milquetoast white people taking bullets to Turks and Caicos?
I don't understand. Yeah, what is it?
This is the white privilege I think of when someone says white privilege. Just random people taking baggies of bullets to Turks and Caicos.
This would be heard, then following that would be sentencing.
Brian Hagerich was detained
Curds and quesos.
by Turks and Caicos authorities
Delicious.
after a family vacation in February, when hunting ammunition was found in his luggage before he boarded a flight home.
Had no idea how it was there, but it was mine. And it's a bag that I'd frequently use at home for hunting trips, weekend trips, etc.
Hagerich.
I always make sure when I'm traveling internationally, I make sure there's nothing illegal, like that, like that would be illegal to cross the border. So like any weed at all, I'll like vacuum out my bag just in case there's like a trace of weed in it, because they can fuck you if they find it. Like I've dealt with some weird stuff before.
Yeah, I just put a $10,000 in unmarked bills in there, and if they try and say something, I'm like, "What's that there? Why don't you hold on to that for me?"
Professional baseball player who was drafted by the Florida Marlins lives in Pennsylvania with his wife and 2 young kids. He spent 8 days in prison before posting bail and is awaiting a May 3rd court hearing.
It's incredibly scary. You just don't know what the next day may bring. You're in a completely different culture, different country by yourself. It's been the worst 7 days of my life.
Don't travel there. Go to frickin' what's that? What's the place? The coast in South Carolina. I can't remember the damn name. Whatever the coast is. Go
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, go to Myrtle Beach. goddammit. Myrtle Beach was made for you fucking people.
The families are also dealing with the financial strain of paying for an extended stay and being cut off from their jobs.
This is something that we may never recover from. I mean,
We've already talked and we're like, what if we lose our house? We built a home that we thought was our forever home. And to think that this is going to ruin us. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Stay
Dude,
updated.
nobody wipes their eyes like that if they're real tears. She is the mastermind of this. She is totally doing this to get him stuck in jail so she can be all about her single life.
You're a conspiracy theorist about so much. It's so strange. Like I can't imagine thinking that way to like float.
She said it herself.
She didn't
said
say-
we both can't be in prison for 12 years.
I mean, she's paying a crazy amount of money in like legal fees, so it's not really that good of a plan. I think you think it's more entertaining to look at everything as if it's like this cool code that you've cracked. I'm very smart. I cracked the code on this, but I just don't think it's realistic.
As an unrealistic code cracker,
And when someone
I'll
starts
meet you
a
halfway
sentence
on
when someone starts a sentence with as a, you know what they're going to say after that is bullshit. But sorry, go ahead.
As I said, as an unrealistic code cracker, I'll meet you halfway on that. So I guess that's bullshit. I won't meet you halfway. It's all me. It's all me, Ben. That's the truth. No, I obviously don't give a fuck either way. These are severe white people problems. To leave some fucking hunting bullets in your bag,
why would you
holy
do
shit.
that?
Yeah.
When you travel internationally, you should check all your luggage. Like it should be ready to go.
Or not. Like this is like that stupid guy that got caned in Singapore.
Or have like
This is
no.
fucking like-
I mean, that dude was like spray painting cars and shit in Singapore. So he was committing a crime and knew he was doing it. This is like
play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This wouldn't have happened if they all would have went to Myrtle Beach. You saw Turks and Caicos on Instagram and thought it was a great destination. Dumbass Johnny Wonderskull watched Jimmy John hunt a lion and all of a sudden wanted to get his hunting shells in a plastic baggie.
How about you have your hunting luggage and your traveling luggage? I don't know.
I mean, I don't care either way. Let these people suffer for their tiny mistakes in life. So many people suffer for things all the time. I'm going to eat off their fears as a reptilian. Yeah, Biden just needs to pardon this guy. This is all just a way for Trump to get elected, right? He's going to say, you got to elect me so I can pardon the nice white man in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, it's one thing to find weed in your pocket on a plane that's traveling domestically, because a lot of times, like, they don't even care depending on what state you're in or whatever. But like finding weed on yourself after you've crossed an international border, that's like a bigger deal. That shit's just
Flying with weed is not even a big deal.
Yeah,
People
yeah. I've
do
done it
all the
multiple
time.
times. Yeah. Oh, if it was an international flight, I mean, I don't know. You usually go through customs when you get to the other side.
You better flush it.
I just have no, like, if I go to Canada, there's no need to bring my own weed. They have plenty of weed up there. So why would I need to bring my own weed? I don't get it.
Yeah, why would I bring pussy to an orgy?
Why would I bring... Why would I bring bullets? There's plenty of bullets up there. No.
Why would I bring bullets to an elementary school? There's plenty of shooters. Wonder if anybody watching right now is having a hard day. If you're having a hard day and you're watching right now, I feel for you.
If you're
not
having a
alone.
hard day, get yourself a Space Puppy sticker.
I got a flat tire on my car
no.
moments before the show started. I have no idea what I'm going to do to fix it. I'm probably going to live in my home from now on. I'm going to starve to death without access to delicious Chipotle. My world is in shambles. If you're also having a bad day, one in the chat, my fellow bad day.
Can't you get it
backyardigans?
Can't you get it like patched up? A lot of tire places will like patch up a hole in a tire. And
Yeah, I
then
don't
you
know.
can
I think
drive
I
on
got
it.
a new tire.
I mean, have you ever had like a tire patched up though? Because like sometimes it's
Yeah. I looked at the tire though, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be one where they're gonna be like, we can't patch this up. You have to get a new tire, so it's just tire time.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bald. Shout out to all my ones in the chat. You're all number ones tonight.
All the bald tires.
All my bald tires. You got those bald pussy tires running deep in the streets.
Now
And I think I have
everyone's
some sort of allergies tonight because I keep itching my face.
yeah, I have like on warmer days sometimes I will, but I'm on medication that seems to work. So my allergy days are not as common as they were before.
And I had cramps because of my heart medicine. So I'm going to take some leg cramp medicine right now.
Oh, I thought it was.
Get old.
I thought you were gonna make like some kind of like PMS joke or something.
My cycle is regular.
That's good.
Wouldn't it be great if men could menstruate just to take a little of the pressure off of women?
Like a menstruation transfusion.
Yeah, some menstruation so you can make it a little easier on your partner. Like, come on, baby. Let me lighten the load. And I just start bleeding out of my balls. That's real. That's real equality. That's real equality, America. That's weird, bud.
And then you get cramps.
Sturgis would not be happy if men started menstruating to make women's lives easier. He would be very pissed.
Oh, he'd make a video about it.
But I'm so mad. Today I woke up and I was bleeding out of the pee-pee, bud. All because of woke America's making me bleed out of the pee-pee, bud. I didn't sign up for this, bud. We were originally the ones not to bleed out of our pee-pees. Woke America is ruining everything. Now I gotta change my bed sheets. They were so perfectly crusted in cum, bud.
Crusted.
Now they all bloody, bud. Now they all bloody, buddy.
Bloody buddy. Everyone, please like the stream if you haven't already. And I was thinking, hopefully, maybe we could try to hit 75% before this stream ends. Probably got like 15 more minutes, and then so. If any of you want to help us get to 75%, feel free to start a tip train and use the link pinned in the top of the chat. Send us some stuff. Drop another. Billy missed both of the 102s from last night. So I think now it's only fair that we get at least one 102 now that he's here. Call
They
me
know I
crazy.
don't like Jared's laugh. They know I'm not a fan of Jared's laughing. Spec says
You're not a
if
fan.
women
You're
menstruate-
obsessed with it. You love it. It's not just that. It's not just fandom.
It's a bold-faced lie.
It's a bold-faced lie.
Spec in the chat says if women menstruate, do men womenstrate? No, men demonstrate. Okay? That's why we're the number one species. That's why when it comes to two genders, you always say male first. Okay? Because there are only two genders and there's only one.
Did
that
you just
matters.
say that genders are different species?
Yeah.
That's not true. We're the same species. Species.
Billy mansplaining TMDW Copper Adventures. That's most definitely what's up.
Man, it's crazy. Like the Cobra content drought. There's nothing. Like
Who would have thought?
Yeah. People were watching Jessica instead, and now she's gone too. So what's next?
I think that Puff's got to come back and start his own stream.
Yeah, he'll move into Cobb's old apartment.
Oh my God! What if he comes home finally after his winter vacation and Cobb's isn't there? If I was a troll, I would get a bearded dragon and put it outside of Cobb's door and take a picture and then post it on the internet saying, "Oh my God, I'm Cobb's neighbor and Puff came home, but Cobra wasn't here." And then Cobra would like believe it. It'd be so fun.
Maybe he might.
Young Flocka coming to the Patreon. Cheers.
Thank you so much. You know, he accumulated over 100,000 Flocka. He accumulated over 100,000 McDonald's loyalty points.
Savage. I wonder how many I have. Is that without spending them?
Probably. I mean, I don't think he did it with one order, right? Like that'd be ridiculous. But
yeah. Well, I wonder if they give you like a record of how many you've accumulated.
I don't know if they do that. I usually when I get up to like a couple thousand, I just spend them and get a free fry or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I currently have 2,932 loyalty points.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my history, and boy, I have clocked out some points. Boy, might have went to McDonald's quite a bit in his
So they expire
year.
after 6 months, and he says he got 120K.
What the heck? That's Sav. Like my Regal rewards points will tell me how many I've had lifetime.
That's cool.
That's why I was checking to see if my McDonald's points had a lifetime.
I haven't seen anything where it shows that, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's
My lifetime Regal credits are 1,353,827. Because I love movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that the first In-N-Out burger in this area, in the state, it's going to be closer to Portland than here. Yeah. It's fucking insane.
It ain't right.
No.
But you can go to California, Cali Burger, which is basically In-N-Out.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been at the one at the Westlake Center.
And you could also go to Five Guys. You could go to Dick's Burgers. There's tons of good burger places
Yeah.
in Seattle.
Burger
I've never
Master.
been in Seattle and been like, man, I wish I could get a good burger.
Yeah. I like Burger Master, and I like Lil Woody's too.
Yeah, I think 8-ounce Burger Bar is a
I've been
famous
there.
one that I haven't tried yet. I really like Lunchbox Laboratory.
I've had that because there's a Bellevue one of those.
Yeah, I used to
Oh.
go to the one down in Salt Lake, or South Lake Union all the time.
Yeah, I've been to the 8-ounce one in Capitol Hill. I tried that a long time ago. Like,
I've never been to 8-ounce Burger Bar. That's like the
Yeah.
one that I hear about that I haven't tried.
yeah, I've checked it out. Man, have you
And then
had?
if you really want a good burger, you can just go to Wendy's, unless you live in the woods.
I don't know. Like Wendy's is okay. Like Wendy's is good when you compare it to the like Burger King and McDonald's. Like it's a contender. But I feel
I was
like,
gonna go to Wendy's after the show, but my damn tire's flat.
oh damn.
Now I have a can of salmon. I have a can of salmon that I'll be foraging tonight.
You're gonna eat a salmon bake like Jared does, because that's one of Jared's favorite meals. Salmon bake, like canned salmon bake.
Oh my god! I got a 1 can of salmon that I bought from Trader Joe's the other day because it was low in sodium. I was like, I should try this. Maybe it'll be good.
Damn.
It's a hard knock life.
Oh, salmon. Oh man. I guess we'll watch a little bit of this. We'll see how this will go.
I don't know what that was.
That was Shani.
How's everybody? I really love my girl, and it like breaks my heart, man.
Look how thin he is now.
Boy, not thick.
He used to be kind of chunky.
It really like breaks my fucking heart.
When they had all this money and they could just buy food whenever they wanted, like, and have.
They could afford to waste food.
Yeah, yeah. And now Shani eats all the food. And he's wasting away while she eats all the food.
To be fair, he probably gets enough nutrients just sniffing her all day.
He has to wipe her butt.
What a sweet boy.
Yeah. What a terrible
Like she's gone through
existence.
so much fucking shit in her life. You
Look
know,
at this camera work.
not deserved stuff coming at her. You know. Had to take the case off this, sorry. And it's just sad. It makes me so sad.
He's like a Rasta now, too. You notice that? He's got like the Rasta cap. Yeah.
Hi, Corella. Yeah, it's always like I have ghosts in here. Like this camera never wants to focus right. It's so weird.
You probably just got a booger over the lens.
I'm not sure what the deal is. Of course, you hit the middle button.
It's Shani's Cheeto fingers getting all over it.
It's really cool.
Did you see that thing about the cheese ball man?
No.
Oh shit. Let me show you that really quick and then we'll get back to this. You have to see this.
Cheese ball, mother.
Yeah, cheese ball man. Cheese ball man. Here. Here it is. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to because this is one of those videos where it should be in mono.
Oh, I was at the store the other day with my buddy and we walked by the cheese balls in the aisle. He was like, I should get those cheese balls for a friend of ours. And I was like, isn't that like a way to say you hate somebody if you buy them cheese balls? Cheese balls are so trash.
Why were there hundreds of folks gathered in a New York City park this weekend shouting, "Cheese ball man"?
Why do you think people are so infatuated with you?
I think everybody wants to be behind the mask.
It started with these flyers, which have been hanging all over Manhattan for a few months now. They hold a simple message from a masked man wishing to remain anonymous. Come see me eat this entire jar of cheese balls on April 27th.
I didn't really expect this many people to show up.
Well, they did. The festivities kicked off with a speech, as many took videos for social media. This one currently holds 10 million views. Then Cheeseball Man hyped up the crowd by running around holding a flag with his masked face on it. Eat those cheeseballs! But of course, finally the time came when the guy going by Cheeseball Man would have to actually commit to consuming more than 2,000 calories of cheddar and cornmeal.
There was a moment that I was definitely going to throw up, and then people said keep it down really loudly, so I just kept it in.
I exchanged messages with folks who were there, most of them saying...
Is he doing a bit with his voice, or do you think this is the real him?
I have no idea.
Because they thought it's...
Yeah, it seems like a bit. I mean, it's funny that this guy had this random idea to put flyers all over New York, like Manhattan, you know, and then thousands of people showed up to see this guy actually eat the cheese balls. I didn't see that. Like, I wouldn't have guessed.
Sounded,
What's
quote,
Manhattan?
hilarious.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Adding, quote, even from 2 blocks away, you could hear the crowd. After almost a half hour, the now legendary Cheeseball Man finally accomplished his quest and then immediately signed autographs. He asked me not to disclose his name, but what I can tell you is that he is 22 years old, just graduated from NYU, and genuinely wants to be more than just a culinary conqueror.
I've been,
He just graduated from NYU. If he's in a fraternity, the fraternity starts this trouble and then gets all their friends out and then a few other people. It's pretty easy to light a little fire like this if you got the right connections.
You know, trying to help.
You have a
people,
lot of
like, clean
connections
up the
coming
city,
out of
pick up
university.
trash.
Are you doing all this in the mask?
Oh, I have to do it in the mask.
Sorry, Cheeseball. By the way, Cheeseball Man says he wants to run this back next year with an even bigger tub. So April 27, 2025, bring your bib. It's going to get real.
I bet this guy went to his fraternity too. They're all in the same frat.
In
This
New
is
York
all
Emergency News.
this is
How
all
bad you knew.
conspiracy media. They put Cheeseball Man in his place to take our mind off of the military-industrial complex. Where's Diddy? Where's Diddy?
Where is he?
We all forgot about Diddy because Drake and Kendrick started a rap beef. This is how short our minds live for in the public Zeitgeist.
I didn't know about any. I knew about the Diddy stuff, but I didn't know about that other stuff. So
Drake and Kendrick are beefing. All to take our mind off of Diddy and who was friendly with Diddy. A lot of people in the music industry.
Pretty friggin' neat. This was definitely worth the money. Like, I don't know how much equipment out there is actually worth the money that you pay for it, but don't get sad, get glad. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. High blinging things. Yeah, it's just like so many years and years and years that she's had like shit, you know, and people being
Poor
abusive
Shani.
and
Poor Shani. Shani's such a victim.
just bullshit in her life that she didn't deserve, you know. She didn't deserve any of this shit that came from whoever it is. Name the person. Hi, Stacy. Thank you, Corella. Hi, thank you, Dissection Girl. You're very sweet, guys. We love you guys. That like you're in here quite a bit, and you know, I see a lot of you guys every time I'm on. Really, you're here like every time. So you know, I like that's so awesome that maybe we could build an audience and do something cool. Like I want to do a podcast. There's no doubt about it.
Oh man.
I want to do a podcast live from Shani's anus. Flocka in the chat asked, is she using a vibrator? No, that's actually a rotisserie machine.
Oh, no.
It's still in her puss.
The last video of these two that I watched, you could hear Shani off camera, and every like few minutes she'd be like, like that. It was weird.
Hot.
That I want to do that.
I hope she's okay. She's got to be at that age where, you know, there's going to be compound health issues, right?
Yeah.
Because I am.
I wonder what Shani's height and weight like actually is, like what her BMI would be.
Yeah,
because it's hard to tell like on camera. She looked pretty big when she was getting arrested. She looked like tall and like big.
Yeah, she had the whole package going.
Yeah. Yeah, because like she was like around this, she was bigger than the cops that were arresting her.
I would like Shani to be a part of it, but it's like, you know, whatever. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. Hi, Chubby Dubby. What's up?
Why is he dressing like he looks like someone at like a Fish concert or something?
Looks like somebody who bought his entire outfit at a gas station.
Yeah, we thank you for prayers, Corella. She needs it. I come to you humbly tonight.
His face is all sunken in and shit.
Seriously, could you pray for Shani's health for real? Like, get a prayer chain going for this specific thing, because
Should we pray for Shani's health, Ben?
Go ahead and lead us in prayer for Shani's health.
Dear Lord Father, we ask of you, please give Shani's healthy appetite access to delicious donuts. Give her healthy appetite access to rotisserie chickens with extra barbecue sauce, dear Lord Father God. And please, a healthy heaping of gravy.
Amen.
Ramen.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. I thought that was lovely. So we're about to wrap this one up. I want to remind you guys that we do a pre-show, and it's currently available, and you should go and subscribe to this feed regardless of what platform or app you use to get audio podcasts. You should go check it out because there's all sorts of free extra content, hours of it, besides the regular show that we put there as under like the bonus category. I just linked it in the chat right now. Let's see here. There it is.
I'm really excited. Everybody check out the pre-show. As you can tell, things have been going really well since episode 542 when I decided to go vegan. So my life's really changed since then.
Yes.
So enjoy the pre-show. We really got that cool vegan voice thing going now.
Yes. If you go vegan, my crotch is open for business. Have you ever seen that?
Is that
It's a really cringy vegan music video.
I think I vaguely remember watching
Vegan
something
ice
like
cream
that.
in your bowl, open for business. All right, we are going to wrap it up. Please go to that link, check out the pre-show, and keep an eye out for Word Vomit, which is coming out at some point this month. And if you like it, you should, if you want more Word Vomit each month, then you gotta go listen to the episodes, or you gotta become a $10 Patreon and get the video version of it. The choice is yours. All right.
Pop-up video.
All right. We'll see all of you next time. Have a good night.
Good night.